Missed the shot.
Welcome back to our studios here in New York, everyone. And we are approaching the top of the and Sharp and Boomer Esiason. We're keeping an eye on the AFC playoff picture, of course. And yesterday, the Steelers knocked off the New York Jets, and they will await the winner of today's Indianapolis-New England game. As we look at this matchup, tell me, does Pittsburgh, which of these teams is more Steeler-friendly, do you think?
None of them. None of them.
Go ahead.
Both of them can score points, which the Jets could not do offensively. And so I think whoever goes into Pittsburgh next week would be the favorite.
I think so, too. I have to agree with you, especially after the way that Ben Roethlisberger played yesterday. He struggled. Listen, he's a rookie. It's a tough deal. He knows now what it's like to play in the playoffs, but I can't see them right now matching up very favorably to either New England or Indianapolis.
And it's going to be interesting to see how New England runs the football in this game with Corey Dillon, because that's what they're going to have to do in Pittsburgh against the Pittsburgh team that is very tough against the run.
Yeah, defense outstanding still. It's still a question. I think we're questioning more the Pittsburgh offense. Would you say?
Yeah.
The really interesting thing you guys have said is that the winner of this game today is going to be the favorite going into Pittsburgh next week.
No question. No question. Right. Because you talk about Peyton Manning, who's had the greatest season and probably for the quarterback, and now you're talking about the two-time, Super Bowl champ.
Well, I think it's more. I think it more comes down to that Roethlisberger had struggled a little bit. That's probably why the other two teams will be the favorite, because of his performance yesterday.
All right, in the NFC, we have a game in progress now. Philadelphia leading 27-7, under 7 minutes to play in that game. So it's looking like the Eagles will be the ones that are going to be playing at home next weekend against the Atlanta Falcons. Look ahead to that one, Boomer.
Well, so much for the Atlanta Falcons being rusty. Mike Vick came out and just blew away everybody last night, like we all thought he would. But I think that when you look at Philadelphia and watching this game today, even though they've scored 27 points, they are not that sharp at this point. I don't think, Donovan McNabb is having his best game.
And you look at Minnesota, and he's not having his best game because Minnesota defensively really is not putting up much of a struggle for him. And you look at Michael Vick last night, it was pretty incredible. And, the fact that he doesn't play and he didn't play that much at the end of the season doesn't matter because of the type of athlete he is. You can just stick him right in there and let him do his thing.
The Michael Vick experience is coming on the road to Philly. Well, I can't wait to see it.
The Michael Vick experience is not going to have quite an easier role against this Eagles defense.
But when you can run the ball like they can, and when you play defense like they did last night, and granted, St. Louis is not the same. It's not the same as the Philadelphia Eagles, but they can play defense and they can run the football.
Guess what? If you check your TV guide, the NFL Today is coming up next with Greg, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer.
Yes, it is.
It's a vacant thumb. We'll see you in a bit.
Who are they singing about? Their favorite American, one of the most popular athletes in the world. So how come you've never heard of him? 60 Minutes tonight.
Who will be eliminated?
I can't breathe.
Don't miss a new Amazing Race, CBS Tuesday.
LG is turning everyone into a fan. At Classic Stereo and Video, get any LG flat panel plasma or LCD and pay absolutely nothing till 2006. Life's good at Classic Stereo and Video. It doesn't cost a nickel more to go first class.
Here comes the 17th Annual West Michigan Golf Show at DeVos Place. Save on the newest golf equipment, special golf packages, and golf trips. Free golf lessons and clinics this year featuring Jim Flick. It's bigger than ever, the Golf Show, February 4th through 6th at DeVos Place.
Boulder Creek Golf Course offers a challenging game of golf on a beautiful 18-hole course. Call today to inquire about golf outings, golf package benefits, and the banquet facility. Boulder Creek Golf Course on Brewer Avenue in Belmont.
Ouch. Looks like someone could use a good meal. Melted Swiss cheese, onions, mushrooms. That's right, a mushroom onion Swiss quarter pounder will make everything all better.
We got a big week planned for you.
Join us Monday morning.
What the hell is this? Fun and games? Does anybody work around here anymore?
The assault is underway. They've met before, and they both know what's about to take place.
You know they're coming for it.
All right, we will make it.
And they're bringing everything they got.
That's accurate.
Tension.
Tension, tension, mounting.
Pressure coming.
Right.
He throws the back of the end zone. It is
Intensity.
Intensity. Intensity.
Is growing.
Gotta put them all down.
And they've got their game faces on.
This ain't about me and you.
What it's all about?
It's about them. Their quest. One, trying to close out the season of a lifetime.
throws to Stokely. That's the record breaker.
The other, a two-time champion, looking to hold on to what he feels belongs to his team. There's no second chances. There's no turning back. It's almost like this was supposed to happen.
Right, man, let's get to the point. So what is it about?
It's about becoming one of them.
A winner.
A winner.
A champion.
A champion.
A Super Bowl champion.
For the rest of their days.
One goal, one winner. The assault on the playoffs continues.
But first,
It's the NFL today.
right now.
Come on. Holla back at me.
And live from our CBS studios in New York, we welcome you to a special playoff edition of the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines, leading up to the AFC Divisional playoff game between the Indianapolis Colts and the New England Patriots. Hi, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel, and our thanks to Ethan Hawke, John Leguizamo, and Ja Rule, the stars of the new movie Assault on Precinct 13, which has nothing to do with any Peyton Manning assault on number 13's touchdown record.
Leave it alone. Please, leave it alone.
And rounding out our distinguished panel, Shannon Sharp and Boomer Esiason. Pittsburgh and Atlanta are in the championship games. The other two entrants are being determined today, and it's going to be a nice, interesting weekend next week.
It's going to be an interesting weekend next weekend, and I think of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger. He is a rookie, and he won the rookie he won a playoff game as a rookie, and he did struggle. And what he has to think about, I think, is that experience is going to go a long way for him next week. You got to understand he has all the weapons, he has a running game, and a great defense. He just got to understand it. In the playoffs, each play is critical, each decision you make, and each possession. And if he can handle that, play better next week, they're going to have a chance to win and get to the Super Bowl. And we're going to Pittsburgh, guys, and I got my terrible towel right here, baby. It's upside down. It's upside down. But I have it. I'm ready for it.
You should Greg, you know what, Greg? I'm going to do something today that I never thought I would do. I'm going to become a hype man for Michael Vick, because what you showed me last night, if you play like you played last night, there's not one team left in these remaining playoffs that can beat you, and you'll be on your way in Jacksonville. This guy's the real deal. He's never going to throw the football like Peyton Manning or Dan Marino. He's not going to look graceful throwing the football like Joe Montana. But I tell you what he can do. He can do something these guys never, ever could do. That's take off and run and get you 150.
You know, I used to play quarterback, too. I didn't know if you knew that.
You had number 7. That's all y'all had in common.
All right, thanks, Mike. But you know what? You know what? Disappointment reigns supreme here in New York, as the New York Jets had a wonderful opportunity to knock off the best team in football, the Pittsburgh Steelers, yesterday. And you wonder, when Herman Edwards says, we play to win the game, well, at the end of the game yesterday in regulation, 3 series, they had 6 first downs. All of those 6 first downs were running plays. They gained 12 yards. They didn't play to win the game when they had the best team on football on the ropes. They basically tightened up at the end. They got nervous. And even though their kicker, missed a field goal at the end of the game, I think he was the shining example of how everybody on the sideline of the New York Jets reacted to when the game got tough.
They played to lose the game.
That's exactly right.
All right, guys, we are about 40 minutes from kickoff for today's Colts Patriots game. Our colleagues Jim Nance and Phil Simms will call the action. They're standing by live in Foxborough. Take it away, guys.
All right, thank you, Greg. And a look there at Peyton Manning on the field right now. He's been all the talk this week, let's face it. And by the way, there's a guy on the other side by the name of Tom Brady who's been walking around in total anonymity this week. Can you believe the reaction to Brady going into this game?
Yeah, it is hard to believe. You talk about Tom Brady. I think he's doing a slow burn. He wants to come out here today
and show everybody why he has been the two-time Super Bowl MVP. 6-0 in the playoffs. The thing that defines Tom Brady, I just think, Jim, you look at him, you talk about him, there is really a deep down inner toughness, and that's what's led him to playoff victories, and that's why he is the quarterback that he is.
Of course, there's the player for the Colts who would like to get to know Brady up close today. That's Dwight Freeney, who led the league in sacks this year. What about Freeney in this game today?
Well, if you want to have a good offensive day against the Indianapolis Colts defense, you've got to find a way to block Dwight Freeney. Last year, Matt Light, the left tackle, did an excellent job when he was singled up on him, but they're going to double team him with offensive linemen, offensive backs, tight ends, whatever it takes, and you love it when your offensive lineman has a little attitude and takes care of that guy.
All right, Phil, we got a little late-breaking news here. Richard Seymour will not go today. The knee is not ready. He is inactive. Jarvis Green will take his place in the lineup. And how about this, guys? In the last 10 minutes, it's started to snow here. It's snowing and blowing, looking an awful lot like last year's AFC Championship game, Greg. And, hey, Dan, we're looking forward to going to your hometown next week for a little home cooking. I'm waiting for the invitation.
All right, Jimmy. Where are you going to dinner?
As long as you, as long as you aren't doing the cooking.
That's fine. That's fine.
Let's turn to the AFC playoff picture now. The winner of this afternoon's Colts Patriots game travels to Pittsburgh, where it will face the top-seeded Steelers in the AFC Championship game next Sunday night here on CBS. Last night, the Steelers held off the Jets in overtime. We'll talk about that thriller when Jerome Bettis joins us live a bit later. Over in the NFC, the top-seeded Eagles are hosting the wild-card Vikings in Philadelphia and are on the verge of advancing to the NFC Championship game. 2.5 to play in Philadelphia. The Eagles are leading it by a score of 27-7. If that score holds, it's the Eagles hosting Atlanta for the NFC Championship next Sunday. How does Atlanta stack up against the Eagles to you, Boomer?
Well, I'll tell you what, Michael Vick, obviously the wild card, we saw it again last night. I think he's going to be trouble for Philadelphia simply because he's trouble for everybody. But when he goes on the road, he struggles. This is not like playing in the Georgia Dome. Take a look at last night.
Last night, early in the contest, Michael Vick shows how dangerous he is when he runs. These are 47 quick yards to set up an Algie Crumpler touchdown to make it 7-0 Atlanta. And then Warwick Dunn, hey, join the party against the Ram defense. 62 yards to the end zone, with the Falcons up 14-7. And Michael Vick to Peerless Price for a 6-yard touchdown that increased the Falcons' lead after the game. The man of the hour, Michael Vick.
It wasn't just me, it was everybody. We come out and give a total team effort, and that's what we had today. You know, we played together. That's what won the game for us. That's what got us 47 points. We're going to be tough to beat, I'll tell you that.
And the Atlanta Falcons can definitely look forward to the Philadelphia Eagles, although now the Vikings have scored. It's a 27-13 game right now. But what do you think about it?
Well, do we get the Michael Vick that played in Tampa, where he was shut down by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or the one that played in Kansas City, where he didn't play a very good game? Going outside of that Georgia Dome, a little bit tougher, especially in the elements up in Philadelphia.
But I still say, as long as you can run the football like they can, and they still play the best defense of anybody in the NFC left, it's going to be hard for Philly to beat them.
Michael Vick, I was impressed last night, 119 yards rushing. You know what? That's 32 more yards in my 17-year career. How about that, huh? Good job, Michael Vick, man.
You have been the hype machine for Michael Vick.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
All right, guys, in NFL news, former Giants head coach Jim Fossil has just told our NFL Today insider Billy Devaney that he will accept Baltimore's offer to become its new offensive coordinator. The Ravens will also hire former University of Washington head coach Rick Neuheisel as their quarterbacks coach. They plan to groom him for the offensive coordinator role in the future.
That's going to be
We remind you, for complete recaps of all the NFL divisional playoff games, plus the latest scores, news, and stats, click on NFL at CBSSportsline.com. Coming up on the NFL Today, as we said, Steelers running back Jerome Bettis will join us live. The bus carried the Steelers into the AFC title game. Also today, Indy and New England battling for the other spot.
The one thing that makes this team different than a lot of other teams is the attitude, and we're about respecting our opponents, understanding we are beatable, which keeps us humble and keeps us working, keeps us focused.
Defend your case for me. Why is this not a bunch of soft receivers?
Did you watch last week's game?
What a catch by Dallas Clark!
The NFL Today is presented by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39.
It's his precinct.
Everyone in here is my responsibility.
His prisoner.
I assume you know who I am.
You're a gangster. But when an army of dirty cops once the dead, it will become their war.
Why don't you give me one of them guns?
From the producer of Training Day, Ethan Hawke, Lawrence Fishburne, Assault on Precinct 13.
When this is over, you're going back to jail. This ain't about me and you. Not yet.
Rated R. Starts Wednesday at theaters everywhere.
If you've got broadband, you're ready to go. Call 1-800-925-4VON or visit Vonage.com. Also available at these fine retailers.
Introducing KFC's brand new spicy barbecue wings. Finger licking good in smoky jalapeno sauce with a shot of honey. Too much flavor? All the more to savor. 6 for $2.99, 18 for $7.99. Or try our classic honey barbecue wings. There's no such thing as too much flavor at KFC.
Is this the help desk? Yes, it is. We're researchers. We're close to a breakthrough. How can we help? It'll take us 900 years to crunch the numbers. There's too much data. You need Gene. Gene? What can Gene do?
You can sequence the human genome, fold proteins, and wrangle quantum chemistry.
You can do all that?
Well, I'm not Gene. This is Gene.
Gene's a computer.
Fastest in the world.
Can he help us? That's why he's here.
Help desk.
You've got friends, you've got beer. The trick is, A, never confusing the two. B, having plenty of both. C, always having something to drink to. Life beckons, and you're holding the key.
In 1976, this boxer's dream ended in the ring.
You're killing him!
But was it murder?
Maybe you paid the referee to keep it going, no matter what.
A new cold case, CBS tonight.
NFL Rewind, presented by IBM, looks at last year's AFC title game between the Colts and the Patriots.
Brady has been magnificent so far. Brady fakes the pass left, now fires left, wide open, touchdown, David Gibbons!
Manning Key throws the back of the end zone. Interception.
Should have never thrown it.
They play a complete game, and they just kind of wait for you to make that mistake, and when you do, they jump on it.
They didn't do anything exotic. Defenses we've never seen. They were just real physical with us.
It's really us against ourselves because we turn the ball over, interception. Man, those things against those guys, you can't do that.
Snap is over his head. 15-0 in favor of New England. Everything has gone wrong. Peyton out of the shotgun, throws upfield, caught by Harrison. He lost the football.
Come on, keep your head up, come on.
Manning drops back, fires over the middle, touchdown.
We're going to kick a field goal. Relax, man. You're going to have a heart attack.
The kick is up, the kick is on the way, and the kick is good. And a military 5 field goals, and the Patriots are heading back to the Super Bowl.
For more, go to NFL.com, your official source for NFL news.
Welcome back live to the NFL Today as we get set for today's playoff rematch between Indianapolis and New England. One of the big storylines is whether the Colts can fully exploit the Patriots' depleted secondary. Bonnie Bernstein is live in Foxborough. And Bonnie, Indy comes into this contest with something to prove, huh?
Well, Greg, you know, I'm not sure if this is a sports exclusive thing or what, but for whatever reason, when an athlete gains a reputation, it's something that's really hard to kick. And after last year's AFC Championship game, when New England's defensive backs had their way with the Colts receivers, the word on the street was soft when it came to the Colts pass catchers. Now, not that that stopped 3 of their receivers from having 3 touchdowns and 1,000 yards apiece, but suffice it to say that soft thing has heart in them, and the Colts would love nothing better than to buck that bad rap today.
Well, for the Colts, the first half disaster continues. Everything has gone wrong. He lost the football. It's that kind of day, folks.
Good grief.
Here's Ty Law's quote. It was the most simple game plan we've ever had. Go out and stick them and beat them up, and all of a sudden the Colts are a bunch of soft receivers. Yeah. It's really kind of blossomed, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has. It's just, you know, it was a great, you know, I think it was a great game plan because that's what they did, and you know, I think it just took us a little time to, you know, realize what was happening.
They were just real physical with us, and they took it past 5 yards a lot of times, but it wasn't getting called, so you can't blame them for that.
Defend your case for me. Why is this not a bunch of soft receivers?
Did you watch last week's game?
Clark by Clark. What a catch by Dallas Clark.
It's a
weak, soft Colts doing a number on the Broncos.
Yeah. I can't explain why people continue to say we're soft when we started putting up points, putting up numbers. If that's what it takes to be soft, I guess you can call us what you want.
Too soft.
Here's how I know you're big time. You have Marvin Harrison setting picks for your touchdowns.
You know, when Marv gave that big block for me, I pointed to him and let him know that I was truly grateful for it. And, you know, he kind of sacrificed his body on that play.
That's not a soft receiver, is it?
That's not soft. That's like he's determined and he's ready to prove somebody wrong.
Everybody's so used to Marvin always getting it. I mean, these other guys are the best receivers we've ever had here on the backside. It used to be by committee, but with the way Reggie's playing, the way Stokely's playing in the slot, and Marvin's presence is still doing so much. It doesn't show up on the numbers chart, but I hear defenses calling out 88 at the line.
Peyton give Marv some kind of eye gesture, and Marv understands what he's doing, and you know, Marv going to run a route, and Peyton knows exactly what route he's running. So that's kind of been, you know, one of my goals to get done here. You know, try to be on the same page as him and Marv.
Everybody knows on any given Sunday it could be their day. You know, we have weapons here, but it hasn't just happened. We have worked to kind of hone and perfect our craft, and it's paying dividends for us on Sundays.
The time is running out, tick-tock like the grains of sand. Every man sharp as man, like steel sharp as steel.
Is it safe to say that sickening feeling's been in this team's stomach since last year's AFC Championship?
I think it's pretty, yeah, you could say that.
After last year, is it personal?
Right now, whoever you play, you make it personal. You know, it's kind of the playoffs. So whoever's in your way to making, you know, the team goal, then it's got to be personal. So
a little bit more?
I'm not going to say any more than that.
Dallas Clark might actually be one of the reasons why the Colts could have more of an edge this year over last year. Maybe not by coincidence, maybe by coincidence. Clark suffered a season-ending leg injury against New England last November 30th, missed all of the playoffs, and that was one of the big reasons why the two tight end set, which is one of Indy staples, wasn't quite as effective. When we talked to Peyton Manning about some of the keys to today's game, he named two things: getting the run going early and often to set up play action, and making sure those two tight end sets are working well, Greg.
All right, Bonnie, thank you very much. Boomer, a little ironic and kind of funny, isn't it, how with the history between these two teams from last year's AFC title game, that this game, for the right to move on to the championship game, would come down to them?
Well, you remember what came out of this game last year and the NFC championship game was the emphasis on holding on defense and also illegal contact. Right here in last year's game, watch Ty Law. He's going to run Marvin Harrison right out of bounds. That would be a penalty this year. And then you're going to see Willie McGinnis. He's going to grab hold of Marcus Pollard. Then Roman Pfeiffer's going to do it. These would all be penalties. That would be an illegal contact penalty right there. And when you take a look at what this has done to the NFL this year, you can see why so many guys are gaining so many yards. And look at this. Illegal contact up 151%. The other stuff is a lot easier to officiate, but that one rule right there, the emphasis of that one rule right there, has led to the numbers that we're seeing by wide receivers and, of course, the quarterbacks.
Well, you know, I don't think they're going to change it all, New England Patriots and Belichick. I still think they're going to try to be physical at the line of scrimmage, and if they get called, they get called at times. But what they do is they try to test the patience of the quarterback, and especially a guy like Peyton Manning, test his patience by playing zone, playing off. If they look at the tape last week, Peyton Manning had 10 completions for 20 yards or more. Belichick looks at that and he says, hey, guys, in the secondary, let's keep everything in front of us. Make Peyton Manning be patient. What that means is he's got to dump the ball off, try to get Edgerrin James involved as much as possible as far as running the football. So for the Colts, it's going to be a key to get Edgerrin James off early, running the football. You can see him maybe get 100, 150 yards in this game.
Well, all I know is the NFL owes some yardage from somewhere because this is a rule and they not put emphasis on it. But I want to talk about what Mike Vanderjagt said. Mike Vanderjagt said earlier in the week, I think the New England Patriots is ripe for the picking. What was wrong with that? You're going to have to play the game regardless whether he said anything or whether he did what he normally does, runs his mouth. But what about the Indianapolis Colts printing up these T-shirts? Now, if I was New England and Pittsburgh, this would make me mad because somebody has already put the Indianapolis Colts in Jacksonville. So I'd be more upset about this than Mike Vanderjagt. But Vanderjagt, I tell you what, how about this game comes down to you? Maybe you need a field goal to send the game in overtime or tie it up, or maybe you need the game-winning field goal to win it. We're going to see if you can back up those comments you made. Maybe they are right for the kicking. The picking But
and the kicking.
Yeah, if he missed that field goal, they're going to be right for the kicking.
If Mike Vanderjagt comes down to Shannon Sharp's advice, they're in big trouble. Turning to today's Nextel NFL on CBS poll question, who's the NFL's MVP this season? Dante Culpepper of the Vikings? Peyton Manning? Maybe Donovan McNabb of the Eagles? Or his favorite target, T.O.? What about Michael Vick of the Falcons? Cast your vote at CBSSportsline.com/Nextel. We'll post the results at halftime. Up next, as we continue live on the NFL Today, the guys will take some quick hits, and we'll talk live with Steelers running back Jerome Bettis. He had another 100-yard game last night to propel Pittsburgh into the title game next week.
A lot of flavor on these new spicy wings. A lot of flavor. Maybe too much flavor.
Maybe we should stop eating them.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Too much flavor.
Too much flavor? All the more to savor. Introducing KFC's brand new finger-licking good spicy barbecue wings and smoky jalapeno sauce with a shot of honey. 6 for $2.99, 18 for $7.99. Or try our classic honey barbecue wings. There's no such thing as too much flavor at KFC.
Peyton Manning and Tom Brady getting set to square off in Foxborough. Manning had the headline-grabbing record 49 TD passes, but lifetime Brady is 5-0 against his Colts counterpart. That game in Philadelphia is now a final. The Philadelphia Eagles will advance to next weekend's NFC Championship game. 27-14 winners over the Minnesota Vikings. And standing by live in Philadelphia right now is Philadelphia quarterback Donovan McNabb. Donovan, this is Greg Gumbel. Congratulations to you. There's always some question for a team that has a first-round bye regarding rust, and you guys really didn't play everybody over the last several weeks. Did you have any fears at all about being rusty coming in?
Not at all, and I think what we've shown is the fact that we had a fresh team out there. Guys were really motivated and inspired to come out and make an impression early, and our thing is about starting fast and finishing strong. And I think what you've seen today is a team that's on top of its game, and mentally we're ready and physically we're ready, so good things to happen.
Donovan, congratulations on the win. Listen, do you think there's any more pressure on the Philadelphia Eagles and your team because you haven't got to the Super Bowl in the last 3 NFC Championship games?
Well, I mean, that's something that we truly don't focus on. I mean, for these other teams, I think their mindset is obviously to get to Jacksonville. And if you ask Atlanta, I think that's what's on their mind. And I think for us, we've been in this situation before. We know what we need to do. And if we just go out and just, do what we're supposed to do in our given positions, things should take care of itself.
Donovan, Shannon Sharp, when I came and did the piece with you this week, I looked in your eyes and I can tell you're real confident. You're ready to go play football. How did you feel out there today?
Like I couldn't be stopped. I think offensively we did the right things. Guys, caught the ball when they needed to. We were able to pick up some big yards and put up points. Against an offense like this, you never want to give them an opportunity. And offensively, we were able to come out early, put some points on the board, continue to move the ball. And I think, what we've shown is the fact that we're a team that's hungry. And, my eyes are still pretty hungry right now. So if you look into my eyes, you'll know what I'm talking about, Shannon.
Yeah, you talking about my homeboy Boomer, huh? Yeah, Donovan. Yeah, Donovan.
Hey, Donovan, thanks very much. We know the first thing you want to do is stand out on a cold field and talk. We appreciate your time. Good luck to you next week.
Thank you.
Appreciate it,
Donovan McNabb with the Philadelphia Eagles, who win by a score of 27-14.
You're going to share that with us?
Colts and the Patriots are coming up shortly here on CBS. As we've said, the winner travels to Pittsburgh next Sunday. The Steelers beat the Jets in an overtime thriller last night. 2nd and 10 from the 34. Ben Roethlisberger throws right to DB Reggie Tung, who proceeds to return 86 yards for the score, and that gave the Jets a 17-10 lead. Go now to 2nd and goal from the 4. And Roethlisberger with a quick shovel pass to Hines Ward for the 4-yard touchdown. Game tied at 17. Doug Bryant from 47 yards out, less than 2 minutes to play in the game. Less than the length of a football short as it bounces off the crossbar. 4th and 10 from the 25, chance to win it at the end of the 4th quarter. Doug Bryant misses another one. This one from 43 yards out. In OT, Jeff Reed, the game winner from 33 yards away in overtime to send the Pittsburgh Steelers to next weekend's AFC Championship game. And now joining us live from his home just outside of Pittsburgh is running back Jerome Bettis. Jerome, first of all, congratulations on the win last night. I want to know what happened in the locker room at halftime. You guys went in tied at 10. You were a big favorite, and all of a sudden the New York Jets are in this game, and you guys come out, looked like, with a very determined effort to win this game by running the football.
Yeah, in the second half, we wanted to go back to basics and just pound the football. We knew we were going to be able to run the ball against them. It was just a matter of us staying committed. In the second half, we went out there and we stayed committed to the running game.
Jerome, this offseason, the Steelers asked you to take a pay cut. They brought in Deuce Staley as a free agent. You've had a great year, an incredible year. You're one game away from the Super Bowl. What has this year meant to you?
You know, this has meant everything to me because this is the reason that I decided to take the pay cut, the reason that I decided to take a back seat, in the thought that we could possibly get here and I could be some use to the football team. And so, you know, I'm so happy everything has worked out.
Bus, you won the ball game last night, but you can't be pleased with the overall performance because you got behind early, and when you run the football as effective as you guys do, you can't afford to fall behind. What did Coach Howard tell you after the ball game?
Well, he just told us that, you know, hey, understand what happened. You know, we won the football game, but we didn't play particularly well, and that we've got a lot to work on, but hey, it is a win. We do have an opportunity to move on. So you have to be optimistic, but you also have to be cautious because you didn't play your best football game.
Hey, Bus, congratulations. It's Boomer. I just want you to know, straight up, I picked the Jets to win yesterday. They kind of blew it there at the end. But listen, how about your rookie quarterback? 2 interceptions yesterday.
You blew it, too. You blew it, too.
I didn't blow it. I got it. Everybody's
Tell him.
That's all right, Bus. But how about your rookie quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger? Did you say anything to him on the sideline yesterday, late in the game, after he'd thrown a couple picks?
No, I just told him to, you got to lead us. And he was, you know, he was a little, you know, upset because he'd thrown some interceptions, but he came back in the overtime. He had some big throws that we needed to have. He carried us down the football field, and ultimately we won the game. And he was a little bit disappointed at the way he played, but it gives him an opportunity to learn from it while we're advancing to the AFC Championship game.
Hey, Jerome, what are your thoughts on the upcoming game between the Colts and the Patriots? Do you think one team has the edge here?
You know, it's hard to say. I think the weather may play a role in this game, so we'll have to watch. But whichever team wins, we're going to be watching, and we're going to be expecting a great game when they come into Heinz Field.
All right, Jerome, it's hard to recognize you when you're not sitting between Dan and Shannon up here. Thank you. Good luck to you next week.
All right, take care, guys.
Thanks, Jerome. A reminder, the NFL Today will be on the air next Sunday, 6 Eastern time, coming to you live from Pittsburgh. That leads us into Sunday night's AFC title game between the Steelers and the winner of today's Colts Patriots matchup. Up next on the NFL Today, Marcus Allen talks with the Patriots, who have an important reminder for the rest of the football world.
We've been to Super Bowls. I mean, we've got the titles to show for it. So we really don't care what people say because, you know, bottom line is we're the champs.
The NFL Today is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39. Beck's Beer, who reminds you that life beckons and you're holding the key. And by Pizza Hut. Gather round the good stuff.
Welcome back, everyone, as we close in on kickoff for the Colts Patriots game here on the NFL Today. The publicity surrounding Peyton Manning and Ben Roethlisberger appears to have overshadowed Tom Brady and the Patriots. However, as Marcus Allen reports, the defending champs may have been forgotten, but they're anything but gone.
Dedication, commitment, perseverance, no stars, just one team. We are the New England Patriots. We're back.
You guys feel like you guys are being overlooked? You guys are defending champions.
You know, I think we are. I think we're being overlooked a little bit. I think especially because we haven't played in a week. Indy did play last week, and they look great.
Touchdown, Dallas Clark!
You know, don't forget about us because we're still here, too.
In order to be the champs, you got to beat the champs, right?
Whatever we accomplished last year, you can't take that away from us. You know, we're all fighting for the same goal, and these guys are gonna make it tough.
When you look at this ball game, Peyton Manning, the explosive offense, the onus is really, everyone says, on you.
I don't know about that. That's a big responsibility, but, you know, I'm just gonna go out there and play my game. Went in there trying to get some tough yards and helping the team win.
Let's get it on. Tell me one thing. Do you feel like perhaps you may have to get into a shootout with Peyton?
The way he's leading that offense, you know they're going to score points. And whether that changes our attitudes in offense, we're going out there and we're trying to score every time we get the ball anyway.
We've had success against Peyton, and you know, he's come in here wanting to prove things all the time. We just do what we do, and we feel confident going in.
We can't let another team come in here and change what we play. When I got Corey, and you know, he pounds it, and you know, Tom can still throw it, and the guys getting open and catching the ball, making plays, and you know, that's just how we play.
Some teams seem to think that we're beatable. They want to go out and say it's not a very good team, and that's not what we're about. Right. We're about respecting our opponents, understand we are beatable, which keeps us humble and keeps us working, keeps us focused.
Won Super Bowls. We've been to Super Bowls. I mean, we've got the titles to show for it. So we really don't care what people say because, you know, the bottom line is we're the champs.
The possibility of 3 championships in 4 years does have a ring of dynasty. You ever think about that at all?
I think the one thing that makes this team different than a lot of other teams is the attitude. And you know what, those other 2 Super Bowls we won, those snuck up on us. This wasn't supposed to happen. Not that we didn't believe it, not that we weren't competitive.
Right.
But at the same time, those goals were so short-sighted.
Do you feel like in any situation, when the game's on the line, because of your experience, because of the type of players you have, that you guys have the advantage?
I think we do have a lot of confidence in ourselves when the games are tight, when it's pressurized situations, because we've done it before. There's no reason to believe that we can't go out there and win a close game.
You know, there's a school of thought that says you really shouldn't go against the champions, and they are still the champions until someone says otherwise.
Well, that's very true. Tom Brady, 2-time, you know, Super Bowl MVP. The guy's Captain Cool. He's great under pressure. When you think about a quarterback that can handle the pressure of a big game, he's handled that better than anybody in the league right now, including Peyton Manning, including anybody else in the league. And you look at them, you know, offensively, I think the key for this game for them is going to be Corey Dillon. If he can run the football, get more than 100 yards, they can control the clock, limit the possessions of the Indianapolis Colts. They're going to have a real good chance of winning this game. And because of the weather, Corey Dillon's going to be able to run this football. I'm going to pick the New England Patriots.
Attaboy. You know what? I think it's only justifiable that in order for Peyton Manning to get to the Super Bowl, he should have to beat the champion, his nemesis. He has not had a whole lot of success against these guys, but I tell you what, this is a different day. And if he goes out there and do what he's done this whole year, he's going to be fine. And Brandon Stokely on Troy Brown. Watch this matchup. Troy Brown's not used to playing defense in a game of this magnitude. I like Peyton Manning and the Colts.
All right, you know, Peyton Manning had the greatest year of any quarterback in the history of the NFL. In order to make it even better, to leave the superstar status to legendary status, he has to go through this one and then has to go through Pittsburgh next week. I think it stops right here. I love the kid. I think he had a great season, and we all know how, you know, we feel about him up here on this desk. But I think you got to stick with the champs and Tom Brady. He's done it in big games time and again, 5-0 against the Peyton Manning and the Indianapolis Colts. I like the Patriots. It's going to be close, but I love the Patriots and Tom Brady.
6-0 in postseason thing.
Right.
Even though he has that ugly haircut.
19 straight at home.
I'm telling you.
19 straight at home.
Weather, Corey Dillon's first playoff game, baby.
Minus 1 turnover. That's all I ask. Peyton, 1 less turnover, we go into 3 Rivers. No, Heinz Field. Go to 3 Rivers. I'm going to be at Heinz Field.
You've been hitting the head too much, man. You've been hitting the head too much.
Baby, Corey Dillon,
well,
big game.
3 out of 4 of us will be in the right place. Coming up, it's the AFC Divisional Playoff game between the Colts and the Patriots. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms standing by to call the action. We'll see you at halftime. Enjoy the game here on CBS.
CBS presents a new drama that will change the way you look at crime solving.
You can tell us where the killer lives?
Yeah. Numbers premieres next Sunday after football.
Who will be eliminated?
I can't breathe.
Don't miss a new Amazing Race, CBS Tuesday. Just watch.
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
They are the talk of the National Football League, and everyone is asking the same question.
Man, they got time. He fires. Guns it over the middle. Throwing in touchdown. Oh, that was too easy. Touchdown.
3 words. Defense. Defense. Defense.
Bill Belichick's Patriots had the answer a year ago, stifling Peyton Manning and Indianapolis's attempt to go to the Super Bowl. This season, they met again with the same result.
Willie McGinnis, he's back. The kick is up. The kick is no good. No good.
A win today would advance the Patriots' place in history and add to the talk of their modern-day dynasty. They haven't lost at home in over 2 years, and the same question applies.
Discipline, perseverance, commitment, teamwork.
Here we go.
And back to pass. He's gone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
The Colts are on a roll and focused on finally winning in Foxborough. New England, Indianapolis. Two teams with the same question. Which team will have the answer today?
It's game time, baby.
We welcome you to Foxborough for the matchup everyone's been longing to see. They met week 1, in fact, the first game of this season, and of course last January in the AFC Championship, but the conditions have suddenly turned eerily similar to last January's conditions when they played in the snow. The forecast all week had kind of led people to believe it would be clear conditions, but in fact, it's expected now to snow throughout for the Colts and the Patriots in this AFC Divisional playoff game. Hello, friends. Jim Nantz, and welcome again to the NFL on CBS. So many irresistible matchups here, beginning with the quarterbacks, the record-shattering year for Peyton Manning. And, of course, everyone's heard the story all week. He's never won at New England, 0-6 in his career. And then you have Tom Brady, so overlooked this week leading up to it, but he, in fact, has never lost to the Colts in his career, 5-0 as a starter against Indianapolis. And my friend alongside here, Phil Simms, another one of the matchups we love at this great scene, great matchup, the running backs. Corey Dillon gets to play in a playoff game for the first time in his career.
Yeah, and he's excited about it, Jim, and what a trade the Patriots made with the Cincinnati Bengals to bring him up here. Of course, we know he is a tough runner, but he has changed the football team, changed the way they play offense. They're more reliant on the run. It's made them tougher. They're less reliant on the short pass. And Corey Dillon, in a year when their defense is beat up, running the football has helped that Patriots defense.
Edgerrin James rushed for 142 yards week 1 of this season, but he had 2 crucial fumbles inside the 20, one of which was right at the goal line.
Well, look out for Edgerrin James today. He could be a big part of this game. Running the football, again, a guy that has the size and the speed to make those plays. And what's important about him, last week against the Denver Broncos, a blitzing football team, 11 times he was asked to pick up a blitzer, 11 times he did it. He kept him off of Peyton Manning. And just a little note for today's game, look for Edgerrin James. It's possible that he could catch a lot of short passes and be a big factor.
All right, for the Patriots secondary, Tyrone Poole, Ty Law have been out really most of the season, but has been so heavily discussed and scrutinized this week. We visited with Rodney Harrison of that New England secondary. What about that secondary?
Well, Rodney Harrison doesn't mince words. He says, look, we're taking this game down to its simplest form. We are going to hit and out-hit the Indianapolis Colts. It's about being physical with the wide receivers. They did it last year. It worked. They hope to repeat it this year.
All right, our UPS reliable game points. And Phil, you say for the Colts, Peyton on the spot. You don't just mean here the fact he's on the spot trying to win up here. You're talking about in the pocket, staying on the spot.
That's right. Last year they made him move, and when they made him move, he threw 3 interceptions. So again, pressure him, make him move around. He's not as good throwing the football.
All right, and for the Patriots, your favorite saying, rip it up.
Rip it up, big man. That's what the Patriots want to do. It's in Foxborough. It's snowing. It's about being tough. That explains the New England Patriots.
All right, the Colts have just won the toss, and they will receive when we come back for this AFC Divisional playoff game in just a moment.
Got friends?
here in Foxborough. The AFC South champion Colts, the AFC East champion and Super Bowl champion Patriots about to go, with the winner taking on Pittsburgh next week in the Steel City. Let's bring in Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Jim, so many side stories, so many distractions that it could be, because this is a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. What have you told your players all week to keep them keyed in on today?
We just said we have to worry about the things that count. There's a lot of things that don't matter. The score, previous games, the weather, the field. We just got to concentrate on playing and concentrate on the Patriots.
Coach, thank you. Jim?
All right, and thank you, Tony Dungy, for your time right before kick. One thing that does go his way, though, right away, is winning the flip in the last 3 games against the Patriots. New England won the toss and scored on the game's first possession, but this time we'll see Indianapolis with it first. And Adam Vinatieri kicking to Dominique Rhodes. Tony Dungy told Peyton Manning after that opening game loss, we blew our chance to play them at home in the playoffs. We'll see them again in the postseason, and here we go with Rhodes running it from the 4. Rhodes out to the 27 with Larry Izzo making the hit after a run out of 25 yards. Peyton Manning on Monday named the league's most valuable player, and he's been open about it all week. His play in the AFC final last year, he said, I played like a dog. He's ready to make up for that. There's Tarek Glenn lining up on the left side. He's going to the Pro Bowl after Willie Anderson of the Bengals had to step back this week. As you see, Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator. Let's see how it'll work in Marvin Harrison. Harrison going against a lawless secondary with Ty Law on injured reserve. They use the stretch play to open it up, and Teddy Bruschi brings it to a halt. Edgerrin James, a gain of a yard. Romeo Crennel, heavily favored to be the next coach of the Cleveland Browns, but this defensive coordinator starting Jarvis Green in place of Richard Seymour, who's inactive with a knee injury. Willie McGinnis always seems to come up big against the Colts, and Rodney Harrison said it's been an irritating week with all the questions about how you're going to stop Peyton Manning. 2nd and 9. They open up with 2 running plays, and James this time scoots for about 5. 3rd and 4 coming. And Phil, let's take a look at your spotlight.
Well, you talk about this Colts offense today, Jim. Be prepared for the unexpected. They know New England comes up with a new wrinkle on defense every time, and we just got to adjust to it. The Patriots defense, well, you heard us during the opening. It's all about when you get a chance, hit the receiver, hit the running back, even hit the blocker when he comes out to make the block on you.
It is 3rd and 4, and Bill Belichick's team brings in Troy Brown, who is right on Brandon Stokely on a slot to the left. And Manning fires over to Marcus Pollard, and a great tackle on that side by Randall Gay, and the Colts 3 and out to open the game.
Well, you talked about winning the opening coin toss, the field conditions, the crowd, the wind's blowing, and the Patriots come out and they do a tremendous job starting the game, stopping Edgerrin James twice. 3rd down, coming up with a big stop.
Hunter Smith, 2nd in the league in punting average. Over 45 yards a boot this season. He will kick it away to Troy Brown with Justin Snow to snap it back. The spiral, fair catch signal, and Troy Brown will set up the Patriot offense at the 27. Here comes Tom Brady in the season opener this year. 334 yards, 3 touchdowns against Indianapolis. Charlie Weiss's offense with Matt Light on the left side. Key matchup heading up against Dwight Freeney. And there's Corey Dillon, who traveled, 8 seasons and almost 10,000 yards before he makes it into his first NFL playoff game. We'll come out with 3 receivers to open the game. Troy Brown was just used not only on special teams and on defense, but he is in the slot to the left.
Tom Brady changing the play right away. First snap of the game.
Pass play all the way, and Brady fires and hits Deion Branch for a first down at the 41. A quick gain of 15 for New England.
Well, you talk so much, you hear it all the time when you watch games. The Indianapolis Colts, they came up and they played a run defense. So Tom Brady has said, to heck with that. If you're going to play the run, then I'm going to throw it to the outside. And when you play a run defense, it means one-on-one coverage on the outside. And Deion Branch, he's fast. You got to respect it. Wide open. Good throw by Tom Brady.
Patrick Pass, a running back, is set wide to the left on first down for New England. Jason David was trying to defend Deion Branch, but Patriots come out throwing on their first 2 plays, dump it across the middle. And that's Corey Dillon for 3. Hit by David Thornton. Colts defense of defensive coordinator Ron Meeks. They'll give up yardage, but they are active. They'll force turnovers and get a lot of sacks. And this is the sack king in the league, Freeney. Rob Morris, according to Coach Meeks, he's had a big year and better understanding of what we're doing. And there's a rookie in the secondary, Bob Sanders, getting the start. So the Colts come out running, but the Patriots come out throwing. It's 2nd down and 7 for New England. Pass and Dillon in the backfield, and it's Corey Dillon. And his first playoff carry goes for 2 yards. And Phil, what about weather concerns? You know, just a day ago, most folks around here believe that this weather system that we're in the middle of right now was not going to arrive until well after the game. Does this have a big impact on the game?
Well, I don't think it's going to impact the quarterbacks that much. Come on, Tom Brady, the Patriots, they play in bad weather almost every home game up here. And Peyton Manning, even though he threw 4 interceptions last year in this championship game in similar conditions, I thought he controlled the football, believe it or not, had a good grasp of it. So they do a wonderful job taking care of the football. It doesn't get that wet, and they should do okay in these conditions.
Well, they're going to get a delay of the game penalty here. Delay of game will back them up to 3rd and 10.
Delay, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Bill Carolla is our referee, and you talk about the Patriots, certainly an advantage for New England, if you look through the years, and that snow game against the Raiders, holding that offense to 230 yards, but far worse conditions there.
Yeah, you just need to put bad weather always when they play up here in the playoffs. That's what it is. Bill Belichick laughed. He goes, well, we see the sun about twice a year. It really has been something else the last couple seasons, what they have faced.
3rd and 10, and it's Brady to Givens, well short of the first. Dumped it underneath, and Vaughn Hutchins brought it to an end, and we will see the Patriots also.
Well, good job by that Colts defense. Dwight Freeney changed the way he played. He usually as a right defensive end, he came over and played against the right tackle on the other side, Brandon Gorin. I would think the Colts like that matchup better because Matt Light, the left tackle, has handled him pretty well up here the last couple games.
So the Patriots also forced to punt on their first series, and Josh Miller kicks it away to Troy Walters. He's going to let it go, and it bounces in for a touchback. Peyton Manning in his 2nd series will start at the 20-yard line.
In 1970, how long does it take to get hooked on the new CSI? About a New York minute.
No one sleeps until the shooter is caught.
CSI New York, Wednesday.
Each team's had 1 possession and had to punt away, and Indianapolis about to start this 2nd series from the 20-yard line. Jim Nance with Bill Sims, Bonnie Bernstein. Talking with Peyton Manning last night, he talked about how this team was going to have to be patient and disciplined early on offense to try to see what New England's going to give them today, what their game plan might be.
Patience means stay with the running game longer than they have in the past. That's what he mainly talked about.
He faked the run, fire across the middle, and was looking for Pollard again with Bruschi and Harrison in the area.
Well, being patient too, Jim. You want to run the football, and why they want to run it, the Colts are terrific at play action fakes and throwing it down the middle. It's the #1 thing you always hear about it. The teams talk about when they play the Colts. The Patriots very concerned and very aware of those passes down the middle.
Isn't it interesting going back to last year's AFC final, the last 2 plays? You know, Pollard was such a focus. They thought he was being held, changed some rules. Here is James on 2nd and 10 for about 7, running behind Dallas Clark. And the first 2 pass plays today for Peyton go in the direction of the big tight end Marcus Pollard. 3rd and 3 on the way. And going back to that game last year, it really brought about a change, a point of emphasis with beyond 5 yards in the line of scrimmage. New England thinks it's called the Patriot rule.
Well, we talked to Bill Polian last night, and Jim, that emphasis on the rule was already in place. It had been happening all year. In the Patriot game, it was on national TV, so it really brought it to light.
Oh, and 3rd and 3, Dallas Clark. It went right through his fingers. Roman Pfeiffer was defending. Looked like a catchable ball for Dallas Clark, who had a big game last week.
It was definitely a catchable ball, and what you've got to get used to. You're the visiting player. You're used to playing indoors. Now it's colder. There's a little snow. The ground is different, and sometimes it takes a wide receiver or somebody who handles the football a little longer to get used to it.
So this offense that piled up well over 500 yards last week and again looked unstoppable. 2 consecutive 3-and-outs. Hunter Smith's kick going to be run back now by Troy Brown, and he scoots free and finally grabbed by the ankles at the 45-yard line by Joseph Jefferson. Troy Brown. Remember the run back he had in the playoffs at Pittsburgh 3 years back? He's doing it all again.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39. GMC trucks and SUVs, we are professional grade. And by Bud Light, fresh, smooth, real. It's all here.
Well, the Patriots will begin this series in Colt territory. Did he get away with something here? Troy Brown almost raised the hand. Tony Dungy wasn't happy. He complained. So wait a minute, the hand was up.
It was close, but it was not. I thought he did not get that hand up far enough to signify the fair catch. Patrick Pass with an excellent block knocked 2 Colt defenders down and allowed Troy Brown to make the return.
Troy Brown's been in 2 plays on defense, a couple of special teams, and a big run back here sets him up at the 44, and he has started the game in a 3-receiver set. The pitch to Dillon, and this is going to be a tackle for about a 3-yard loss by Josh Williams. What about the Sim Spotlight when the Patriots have the football?
Well, the Patriots, they heard so much about the Colts offense this year. They said, don't forget about us. We want to know, can the Colts score with us? That's kind of their attitude. The Colts defense, we talked to Ron Meeks, the defensive coordinator. He goes, Charlie Weiss is always coming out with something new. We got to be flexible and adjust to it.
All right, Patrick Pass. Yeah, he is getting some attention. We'll take a break here in Foxborough.
Not sure if it.
Patrick Pass has been one of the unsung heroes for the Patriots. Watch his right foot. Corey Dillon lands on him, and he was helped to the sideline. It's 2nd and 12. Dillon tackled behind the line of scrimmage on 1st down. Troy Brown in a slot to the left. Setting up the screen for Dillon. And this well defended. And another loss on the play. Raheem Brock was to him first, and Monte Rager finished him off. His 3rd and 13 on the way.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, Dwight Freeney is outside. Watch him against Matt Light. I know it's a screenplay, but Tom Brady doesn't even really have a chance to set it up and fool the defense. The speed of the Colts defense, very evident so far. Last week, look at Dwight Freeney. Last week, I thought it was the most physical game that I've ever watched the Colts watch their defense play. They really hit the Denver Broncos hard.
3rd and 13, and Brady across the middle and incomplete. They were looking for Troy Brown, and that ball tipped in the air by Gary Brackett and Nick Harper.
And when you can stop the running plays and the screens, what it does, you play into the Colts' hands. Boy, look at that shot into the snow. It's tough for the quarterbacks, but on 3rd and long, the defense is built to rush the passer, and Tom Brady's not going to have long on those in those type of situations.
Now let's see what Josh Miller can do. His first punt went back for a touchback. 19 punts this season inside the 20 versus only 6 total touchbacks, but he's got a pair of them today. Not what you want, but a flag is down.
It's interesting. Everybody expected a high-scoring game and wide open. The conditions. And, of course, both defenses off to outstanding starts.
Goes along a little bit of what Peyton told us they would do.
Holding during the kick, number 26, receiving team. It'll be 10-yard penalty from the 20-yard line. Receivers will keep the ball. First down.
Manning and company will be backed up to the 10-yard line. Wayne Bacon on the hold. We've had 4 possessions, only 1 first down in this game so far.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by T-Mobile. Get more minutes, more features, more service. And by Chevy, an American revolution, supercharged for 2005.
Well, we remind you that Boomer Esiason, Shannon Sharp, and my partner Phil Simms all report on the games leading up to the Super Bowl and all the stories. Superbowl.com is the site. See what they have to say at superbowl.com. First down from the 10-yard line. Off play action. Edgerrin James with some room and a nice block up ahead as Rick DeMulling pushed aside Randall Gay, and it picks up 15.
Yeah, really good play call by the Indianapolis Colts. Tom Moore, you got an aggressive defense. They're really being more physical than you are right now. So what do? You take advantage of it. You throw the screenplay. Jim, you said it. Rick DeMulling outside. Nice block. It gives Edgerrin James some extra yards.
There's Tom Moore, who talks to Peyton about staying in phase. That was a big saying this week for them. Edgerrin for a quick 5 to the 30. What does that mean, staying in phase?
Well, I mean, you've talked about it so much already. Look, first down, stay with the running game a little more. Everybody knows the Patriots are concerned about the pass. They're beat up secondary. They ran the ball up here the first game of the year well. They want to even be more patient with it this time.
Dallas Clark in a slot to the left. Vrabel threatening the blitz. And they go up the middle for 3. Edgerrin James, 3rd and 2 coming.
Now, you know, you talk about this defense, and you know, the injuries have changed the Patriots defense so far this year. They're not as creative, I guess is the best way to say it. And Peyton Manning, when he talked to us last night, Jim, what did he say? It's not complicated. They do almost the same thing every single play against us. It's that they're good players. They're well taught. That's what makes it so difficult to go against.
And you saw a glimpse of Richard Seymour, who is inactive for the Patriots, the Pro Bowl defensive tackle. 3rd down and 2. Will Peyton get one of the members of that receiving corps in play here for the first time? The trio of heroes. Flings it up, and pass is ruled complete near midfield for 18 yards to Marvin Harrison.
Something that Peyton Manning did not do well last year against this New England defense is throw well on the run. This time, almost on a full sprint, puts it right on the money to Marvin Harrison.
Boy, did they get to the line quickly here so it could not be reviewed. Manning was very concerned they may take another look at that, so he hustled his team. There's always no huddle around here, but this time it was almost like a spike type mentality.
They know it. They have a little signal. The whole team knows about it. Tom Moore said something in Peyton's helmet to tell him there could be a review. They run up to the line, call a play. They don't give the other team a chance.
So that 18-yard reception's in the books, and the 1-yard carry by James. It's 2nd down and 9. Play action across the middle. Stokely in and out of his hands. He got walloped by Eugene Wilson. 3rd and 9 on the way.
Well, look, you play against this defense, they're usually looking at the quarterback. That means they're playing zone coverage. So when you go across the middle and the football is coming your way, just know that you're going to get hit. That time, a big hit by Eugene Wilson knocks the ball loose.
Troy Walters is in as an extra receiver on 3rd and 9. Stokely in the slot there has Troy Brown eyeing him. That's 2 drops by the Colts. Quick fire, incomplete, and again Stokely had a hand on it, and Brown broke it up.
How about that? Wide receivers against each other. Troy Brown, Bill Belichick said this week, in the slot. This is the toughest place to cover a receiver in the National Football League. That is some job. But Bill Belichick says every week he just gets better at it. He learns more, and that play was evident that he has learned and gotten much better.
And Troy Brown drops deep. And Hunter Smith's kick, he didn't catch it all, but a most generous bounce to the 16, Justin Snow, who snapped it, downs it. Peyton Manning and the Colts. 3 series, no points. The game is scoreless. First quarter. 1 week from today, get ready for a whole new kind of crime solving. 2 brothers, one's an FBI agent, the other's a math genius, and their secret weapon for cracking cases, numbers. Don't miss the premiere of Numbers next Sunday after the AFC Championship game on CBS. The draw on first down, Corey Dillon for 5 yards to the 21. Von Hutchins on the hit.
Well, the draw play, it's such a good play against this Colts defense. And why is it? Even though it's first down, they still play pass. So if the front guys are playing pass, they're going up the field. That creates some running lanes. So if the quarterback, when they delay it, it gives the running back a really good chance to get to the linebackers and pick up some good yards.
Second down and 5. It's Dillon again. Dillon slicing his way. First down, 29-yard line. Corey Dillon behind Matt Light. And a gain of 8.
Well, this time a little different for this New England offense. Tom Brady, instead of going up to the line of scrimmage and just trying to get the perfect play, they go with the draw on first down, and then on second down he goes with a quick snap count. And forget all this. What are they going to do? Hey, line up, hit them in the mouth, and let's run the football.
And Charlie Weiss, what will he do here on first down? He'll use Dillon again. Dillon getting a nice rhythm going behind Brandon Gorin, this time for another 7.
Yeah, it is. Corey Dillon has done so many wonderful things for this football team. Look at the rushing offense. Yards per game, where it ranks in the NFL, and yards per rush, all that has gone up. And you know, too, also, it's changed the pace of how the Patriots play. It helps out the defense, Jim, we talked about already, that's beat up. When you run the football, you eat up the clock. Your defense sits on the sideline, and they stay rested.
On second down and 3, they go with Kevin Falk, his first action of the game, and he has a big running lane for 13 yards.
Boy, nice blocking up front by the Patriots. It's a quick draw, and they go on the first sound. They catch them off guard and not ready on defense. And up front, good blocking. Joe Andruzzi, Steve and Neal, good job. Dan Cope in the center gets out there too and gets a good, and the wide receiver down the field doing their job too.
33 yards on this drive for New England, all on the ground. They stay with Falk in the backfield, play action fake, and a flag. Kevin Falk and Robbie Abdullah, the backup running back and fullback in the lineup.
Prior to the snap, false start, 82, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
5 yards on Daniel Graham and Bill Belichick. And just a little jumpy, trying to get off the line. Little teamwork all the way around. Kevin Falk getting cleaned up from Troy Brown. 1st and 15 for New England. Go back to Falk. David Thornton has a hit on him. And now support comes in by way of Dries Bashir. Gain of 6. Corey Dillon will return to the lineup. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. You were talking about the Dillon effect. You know, last year Antoine Smith was the leading rusher for New England. His total was only 642 yards for the whole season. Dillon blew that out by 993 yards, almost 1,000 yards more than how Smith led the team a year ago.
I liked his reaction to you when you asked him those questions on Friday. He goes, man, I would have never dreamed that I would have this kind of, you know, it really has been a lot of fun to talk to this year, Corey Dillon.
On second down, in the middle of the field, they're back into Indianapolis territory. Monte Rager stops Dillon.
Well, I think the Patriots, when you watch them on offense, so many teams that play this Colts defense, I don't know what you envision. Everybody wants to get down the field and make those plays, and they pass up the short ones that are wide open. So the Patriots very cognizant of that. And, you know, Tom Brady, what do you say? I might dunk or dink 20 short passes in a row. I am not going to get impatient and throw it into the middle of the defense.
Dunk and dink and dink and dunk.
Well, yeah,
same thing, isn't it?
You know what I meant.
Yeah. And then Brady knows what you mean, too. He might be looking for one of those right now on 3rd and 4 in the final minute of the first quarter with pressure. Got it away for the first down. And triple team. David Patton, though, has the first at the Colts 34. Dwight Freeney was applying some pressure, did not get there in time.
Jim, he was there, but you know, when you talk about the Patriots wide receivers, it's a core of them. There's 5 good ones. David Patton can get down the field. Dwight Freeney switching sides. Oh, I tell you what, they found something on that right side. The Patriots are going to have to give Brandon Gorin some help when he lines up over there.
Well, they've got 2 tight ends in, Christian Fauria and the starter Daniel Graham. 1st and 10. Patriots putting together a nice drive, but not this time will they move it down the field as Monte Rager gets to Brady. Is this part of what you saw? He's talking about adjustments they would have to make.
No, that's just there's no adjustment there. It's just me whipping you in front of me.
7-yard sack to end the quarter. Scoreless first quarter. Will return after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Whatever you do.
Bundle up. 1 quarter down, and certainly not the numbers anyone expected. Scoreless first quarter.
No, but you know what? Oh, snow. That's a very appropriate.
We were expecting some snow.
Well,
Long
listen,
snapper.
it's the middle of January up in New England, Foxborough. And for this time of the year, these are very good conditions. The snow is not bothering the football players. Maybe the cold weather, and if it gets really windy, that's when it can affect the punter, the place kickers, and of course, most of all, it would affect the throwing of the quarterback.
Well, the Patriots in this second quarter going into the win, and he closed out the first quarter with a sack of Brady. He was not sacked all of last postseason, not once. And 2nd and 17. Out of the pocket, he finds Troy Brown at the 31 with Gary Brackett falling on him along with Cato June.
Good job by Tom Brady, just sensing that there was no pass rush, so he waited and waited. He did not panic. Then when he moved out of the pocket, showed that he's fairly good at throwing the football on the run.
And look at this, no huddle. Patriots go to begin the second quarter. With an empty backfield, 3rd and 7. Brady has the first down at the 22 with David Givens.
I'll tell you why they go no huddle, because when they do this, they think they know exactly what this Indianapolis Colts defense is going to do. They're going to play zone. Tom Brady tried to look it off. He knew when he did, the defense would move just enough for him to find the hole to throw the football into.
And if you remember the game that opened this whole season on a Thursday night, they opened the game with this 5-receiver formation and marched right down the field without ever even showing Corey Dillon on that first series as a Patriot.
They do this almost every time they play the Colts.
1st and 10 from the 22. Blitz. Brady gets it away, and a catch is made by Bethel Johnson.
And that was something new, Jim. That's not what they planned for. They got the blitz. The Colts caught them off guard, and the Patriots got away with a holding penalty, I thought, at the line of scrimmage. But a good throw by Tom Brady against the blitz.
So their 5th receiver, Bethel Johnson, gains 9 yards with the catch. Again, 5-receiver set, 2nd down and 1. Quickly across the middle, and it is back to Troy Brown for a first down.
Well, they have done what they set out to do. They have changed the tempo, the mentality, given themselves some confidence, got the crowd excited. And Tom Brady has been, he's an expert at directing an offense in these type of situations.
And the dink and dunk you talked about, 10 out of 11, 69 yards. This is first and goal to go right on the 10-yard line, and he just drives straight ahead to the 7.
Wow. That's pretty good. The old goose play. Go up there and goose the center. Something they work on. You know, this something that most teams and offenses and players wouldn't even think about. Tom Brady gets right up in there and right away goes with a quarterback sneak. It's a pretty tough run in there too, Jim.
Corey Dillon returns to the lineup. Single back, 4 receivers. 2 to the right, 2 to the left, 2nd and goal. 14th play of this drive for New England. It's a draw to Dillon. And he moves it inside the 5 and then stood up at the 3.
So much what this Colts defense does mimics what the Patriots do on defense. They drop a lot of people back when you get inside their 15-yard line, and they just watch you. So that time, the draw play fooled them, but because everybody's looking at the quarterback and watching what's going on, they're able to react and stop him short of goal line.
What do you expect we see here? 3rd and goal from the 3. With 3 receivers and Dillon in the backfield. It's Dillon, and he is to the 1. Looked like for a moment he might be able to make his way all the way to the goal line, but got cut under, and it's 4th and goal from inside the 1.
They're going for it. Here comes Mike Vrabel and the big unit they put in on offense, and that was another good job by Charlie Weiss and Tom Brady. The quick snap and the draw play, kind of unexpected when you get down inside the 5-yard line.
They spot it really just outside the 1. 16th play of the drive. It's the longest drive of the entire season for the Patriots. Will they come up with the touchdown or come away empty?
Well, they've been very creative in these situations. Remember, Mike Vrabel has caught quite a few touchdown passes.
They're going to run it. It's Dillon. Touchdown, Patriots with a flag. Mike Doss indicates against New England. Let's see.
Prior to the snap, false start. 72, offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat 4th down.
Well, that's going to change the whole plan now. Matt Light moved early, and they'll bring out Adam Vinatieri.
Oh, there's Matt Light. What makes it so tough if you're the Patriots, it's a run to the right, and that's the left tackle completely on the other side, and his guy, even if he didn't block him, probably wasn't going to make the play. But a good job. Another quick snap count by Tom Brady. Doing that is going to settle down that Colt defense.
Well, after all that, it'll be a 24-yard try. Vinatieri's kick is good. Boy, that was a long one. A long drive, that is. It results in only 3 Patriots on the board.
They once played.
How about this? Patriots had the football for over 9 minutes on that series, driving 80 yards for a field goal. I heard it all week long, how they're going to try to shorten the game.
Well, that was a good theory. The Patriots said, look, we're just going to try to score. We're not worried about shortening the game. That'll do it. That'll keep that Colts offense sitting on the bench, too, of course.
Rhodes gets outside, across the 30. And then tackled out of bounds by Cherry. 24-yard return. Manning comes out, down 3.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Subway. Can you feel the heat rising? Get ready to experience a fresh toasted sub. Subway, eat fresh. IBM, helping companies innovate in an on-demand world. And by Levitra. Ask your doctor about it today. Levitra, when it counts.
We're back in Foxborough tomorrow. All new, The Late Show with David Letterman. Don't miss Jack Hanna and his animals tomorrow with Dave. So now Peyton Manning and his offense have been sitting for a long, long time after that 9-minute drive by New England. They've managed only 57 yards total offense to this point, and on first down, ball squirts free. Ball still loose and recovered by Jeff Saturday, the center.
Well, you talk about what makes a defense so tough. The New England Patriots, they've been careful all day, very conservative, and then all of a sudden, first play after a long drive, they come out, they blitz Peyton Manning, they get to him, they cause the fumble. Mike Vrabel, number 50, who else knocks the football out of Peyton Manning's hand?
And Willie McGinnis was in there mixing it up too, a loss of 12, but the recovery by Saturday. Second down, 22.
Look at all that movement at the line of scrimmage.
They fake the draw and come over to Dallas Clark, batted away, Willie McGinnis. Now the Colts, during the break after the field goal, so Ryan Deem, their starting right tackle, walk off the field favoring his right leg, so they've got some changes on the line. And Manning this time just tried to work his way over to Dallas Clark.
Yeah, Willie McGinnis and Mike Vrabel, I don't know what it is about the Indianapolis Colts, but they seem to come up with all the big plays against this offense.
Jake Scott, who had started at right guard, moves over to right tackle, and Tupe Peko is in at right guard. Subs for the Colts with Deem in the locker room. 3rd and 22. And Manning just fires it in the area of Edgerrin James, shaking his head, knowing he had no chance. Willie McGinnis, who has feasted on the Colts, is off to another big start today.
Well, it is. Look at the wide receivers on the outside. They know it's a screen, but still, look at all the defenders down the field. Look at them. Even if it was a pass down the field, there was going to be nobody open for Peyton Manning.
Downwind punt on the way for Hunter Smith. Troy Brown had one good run back. This one begins at the 30, cutting back, some room at the 40, and now doubled up back at the 39s, where they'll spot it with David Thornton on the hit, along with Wayne Bacon. 3-0, Patriots with the lead, and Brady and company back on the field.
The playoffs.
A murder hangover.
Well, coming up, we've got the Nextel halftime report with Greg and Dan and Shannon and Boomer, and a look at the playoff picture, and plus a recap of the Eagles win from earlier today. It's all coming up on the Nextel halftime report. Patriots from the 39, that intended for David Gibbons. How about this? Indianapolis has been so far held to 2 first downs. They usually get 2 first downs just being introduced in the starting lineups.
That's right.
It is snowing. And it's 25, and snow is collecting on the perimeter of the field, but not really making the conditions all that difficult.
Yeah, the footing's been very good so far. It's so much talked about. Ooh, the Patriots want a sloppy field. They didn't cover it up. Come on. The field was beautiful yesterday. It was great before the game.
2nd and 10. Corey Dillon. Look at him go. Inside the 30. Dillon down to the 15-yard line. Don't forget, the Patriots come off a bye week. They all talked about how much they needed the week off. Their bye had fallen in week 3 of the season. And as Corey Dillon told us this Friday, he says, we're as fresh as a newborn.
Well, he's as fresh as a newborn, and Ron Meeks is right. You never know what to expect from this Patriots offense. Daniel Graham, 82. If you want to run the football and be really good at it, it's almost imperative that you have a really good block and tight end. And Daniel Graham is having a wonderful day.
From the 19 over to Deion Branch, incomplete. Nick Harper was defending.
Sorry, Jim, you talk about blocking, getting some runs down the field. Watch what Daniel Graham has done so far today. Gets down, gets the linebacker, pushes him out. Corey Dillon cuts it inside, and then again comes inside, shows he's athletic, gets David Thornton, pins him in, and Kevin Falk picks up a lot of extra yards.
2nd down and 10, Colts threatening blitz. Brackett lined up on the right side, now backs away. Number 58 for Indianapolis. Freeney coming after him, and Brady's pass No flag. Jefferson was all over David Gibbons.
Well, Matt Light and Joe Andrucci, they're both talking about, hey, how are we going to block Dwight Freeney? But Tom Brady, really, it's just a throwaway. And the crowd here is really making a lot of noise, but this is why it's a throwaway. Good job by Tom Brady. Avoid the sack, keep your team in field goal range, and also make third down manageable.
Brady talking about Freeney, told us he's got a great motor.
He does.
He comes all day is what he says. Right at me.
He's over on the right tackle. Gorin this time, but Freeney, he is relentless. You can knock him out of bounds. He falls down. He gets blown up. It doesn't matter.
Third down and 10. Big play for the Colts defense. In the pocket, Brady's pass will not be enough. Gibbons was the safety valve underneath the coverage with Raheem Brock giving Brady some fits.
Well, look at the front four. Look at the movement. Here they come. Tom Brady steps up. Oh, nice job. Josh Williams grabs his jersey where he cannot even get a good throw on target, and that stops the first down. But that front four, they're pressuring Tom Brady so far pretty well today.
Vinatieri already good from 24 in this quarter. This from 30. Actually implores Josh Miller to back up another yard. We'll call it 31, and this one also true. 6-0. A pair of Adam Vinatieri field goals, and the Patriots blanking the Colts.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the new Ford 500, built for the road ahead, and by the coldest tasting beer in the world, Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 39.
You can get the latest NFL playoff news and stats, updated schedules, and a look ahead to next week's championship weekend by clicking on NFL at CBSSportsline.com. No, it'll be the Falcons at the Eagles. Who will play at Pittsburgh? Will New England get a chance to go back where they were beaten on Halloween Day to end their 21-game overall win streak? Or will it be the Colts who trail here 6-0? The short kick out to the 31. James Mungro with the run back.
Well, when you're trying to beat the defending Super Bowl champions, and you got to do it with your offense, you can't miss opportunities. And so far, the Colts, the weather has bothered them. And of course, the biggest thing of all, the Patriots defense. And we're showing you the drop passes. They're not doing anything to confuse Peyton Manning. It's nothing really unique. It's just getting whipped. That's all it is right now. It's about being physical. That's what the Patriots want to do. And so far, they're winning the battle.
Edgerrin James will go back to the ground, and he scoots ahead, squirts out to the 37 for 6 yards. Let's quickly go to Bonnie.
Well, Jim, it was interesting when we spoke with Rodney Harrison. He told us despite the injuries in the secondary, he felt more confident about the Patriots' defensive game plan this year than against last year in the AFC Championship. They put in some new wrinkles and found some tips and play action that would give them a heads up when Peyton was going to try to run those plays.
Certainly looks like they've figured something out, doesn't it? They've figured out one of the keys. 2nd down and 4. Looking for some room. James dives for a gain of about 2. But you talk about the trio of receivers, Harrison, Wayne, and Stokely. Harrison has 1 catch. The other 2, nothing.
Nothing yet. And, you know, Bonnie is talking about Rodney Harrison. And Jim, you got to get a kick out of it. The first thing he does, he goes, this has been some irritating week. Listen to all this stuff. And he's so prideful and such a competitor. And when we watch practice, I did see a lot of new defenses by the Patriots, but so far they've kept it fairly vanilla, and they haven't shown many of those new looks.
It's 3rd and 3. Only 2 defensive linemen in on that play for the Patriots. First catch by Stokely for a first down. Troy Brown and Teddy Bruschi bring him down, but Stokely holds on this time for 8.
Well, it was Troy Brown matched up with Brandon Stokely. They put Stokely way outside. Watch them bring him in motion because they want to create space. 3rd and 3, fake going across the field, break back out. That is tough for any defender to try to cover in that situation, much less a guy that's played wide receiver almost his whole career.
Peyton has 43 yards passing with 6 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. but still has to feel fortunate. They're only down 6-0. Timeout called by New England. Timeout charged to the Patriots. So the Colts showing signs of maybe getting something going here near midfield.
Well, the Patriots trying to give one of those new looks. They confused themselves. 2, 4, 6. They're 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They do have 11 on the field. Watch Troy Brown. Wait, I'm off? Hold it. Wait. Oh, I'm on. So finally they have to call a timeout.
Is this offense, defense, or special teams? No wonder his head's spinning. He's in on almost everything today. Randall Gay tried to run off. Look at him. So they called timeout. First down for Indianapolis from the 46. Zips it and has his man. That's Reggie Wayne, his first catch of the day. So one each by Stokely, Harrison, and Wayne.
Reggie Wayne against Gay on the outside, and perfect timing by Peyton Manning.
They may measure for the first. You know, on that third down pass play to Stokely, the Patriots, I mentioned it, had only 2 down linemen in on that play.
That's one of their new looks today. They got a lot of variables of that 2 down lineman look too. But you know what? The Colts are ready for it. They know they're going to see some new stuff, and you just roll with it and adjust as you go along.
That's a first down. Tonight on 60 Minutes, he's one of America's most famous athletes. He's known around the world. So how come you've never heard of him? Well, you will tonight. Well, on 60 Minutes after the game.
It can't be Boomer then, can everybody knows Boomer.
I thought you were Boomer.
Yes.
You mean you're not?
You've heard that today a few times.
Amazing how many times you hear them. And I've seen it the other side too, Boomer being Phil.
Yeah, but it doesn't annoy me like it annoys him.
Don't be so sure. First down, Edgerrin James down to the 39. Pick up a 5. So now the Colts putting together their best series of the game.
Yeah, and you know what it does? It's once they got a first down, then they got another one. The crowd gets out of it a little. It puts you at ease as a player. All right, we're in rhythm. Now we can go. And all of a sudden, Tom Moore, that play sheet, it just opens up. He sees a lot of good plays instead of trying to find that one play that gets us that first down to get us moving.
It is 2nd and 5 for Manning and the Colts. The deepest penetration of the day, and in stride he hits Marvin Harrison with another first down at the 20, at the 31, make it.
Well, if you do not bump Marvin Harrison at the line of scrimmage and the Patriots do not touch him this time, look, he's open. The rhythm is there. Peyton Manning gets rid of the football, and you move the chains.
Harrison and Manning have played more pass and catch than any duo in the history of the NFL. 1st and 10, Indianapolis. Slicing through Edgerrin James. Some hard work for 3.
Well, we've talked about Rodney Harrison some in this last play after Marvin Harrison caught it. A little talking, and you know, Rodney Harrison's one of those players. He is going to find some conflict. He wants to be angry. He wants to get you upset on the other side of the football, and all that emotion. He's one of the few guys that I've seen on a football field that can get very emotional and still do the right thing, not make mental mistakes.
2nd down, 7. Fake to Edgerrin, setting up the screen to James. Flag is down as James falls at the 21.
Well, it looked like the Patriots.
Holding, 73.
It's a big one. And that's
10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Jake Scott, who moved over to right tackle for Ryan Deem.
Well, Jim, we've seen this offensive line shuffle around and really do a good job, but Jake Scott, number 73, on the outside against Willie McGinnis. He gets beat too fast, and he reaches out with both arms. I thought Ty Warren was held too. I thought that was what they were going to call the penalty on.
Dominique Rhodes comes in for the first time on a play from scrimmage. He's returned some kicks. Instead of first down at the 21, off the screen to James, it's now 2nd and 17 at the 39. Go with the screen again, and Rhodes is ridden down for a loss by Teddy Bruschi, who almost took the football away, and they're going to give it to New England. They're going to say he picked his pocket.
That is some play. Teddy Bruschi, the linebacking core, they are the difference in the game so far. Teddy Bruschi immediately recognizes the screen, beats the blockers over there, and he has the football. He definitely has the football on the way down. Just takes it right out of the hands of Dominique Rhodes. He wasn't satisfied with seeing the play, ruining it, breaking it up, or making the tackle. He went right for the football.
He out-wrestled Rhodes for the football.
It is. It's really... Peyton Manning talked about this linebacking core. He says they all should go to the Pro Bowl, but recognition, just being a player, studying, watching what the other guys do, and doing it so much that you're able to come on the field and react to it and make it happen. Tremendous play by Teddy Bruschi.
Well, that is going to be ruled a completion to Rhodes and a fumble recovery by Bruschi, not an interception. And now they might want to hurry up before the Colts want to challenge it, although I'm not sure a challenge would change the outcome anyway. So from the 41, with 3 minutes to go in the half, Brady goes for the long ball. This could be picked. And I'll tell you, David Patton did a magnificent job of batting it away from Joseph Jefferson.
Well, the Patriots again trying to change the game. You know, they're mixing it up. It was a run offense, then they went that little hurry up. It worked for them. They went back to the run again, and now they're trying to speed it up. But the Colts being a little aggressive, playing man coverage and trying to come after Tom Brady in this 5 wide receiver offense.
2nd and 10 again with the empty backfield. Here comes Freeney. He got him this time. Dwight Freeney. He came spinning around, as he likes to say. We start spinning the minute we get off the bus.
And he is double teamed. Watch it. They double him. Spins. Oh no, Joe Andruzzi at the last second just comes off his guy because he sees Dwight Freeney is just out of control. What a move. And we talked a lot about him last week. The Denver Broncos did a pretty good job against him, and he's one of those players. He really is. He's like Lawrence Taylor. Block him 10 times, but the 11th time he gets by you and he can change a football game.
And it's 3rd and 19. And it's Falk weaving, getting away, and still it'll be a punting situation for New England. Remember, the Colts have all 3 of their timeouts. Would they use one before the 2-minute warning here? They're going to get the football back. They're going to let it run all the way down. Well, the Colts in that AFC final a year ago were shut out in the first half here, 15-0. They're down 6-0 today, but let's see what they can do in the last 2 minutes of the half.
Tomorrow.
Patriots about to punt the football back to the Colts. You like your sarcasm at times, so
no.
What are people saying all week long? How are they going to stop Peyton Manning? That patchwork secondary, they can't stop him. They've shut him out so far.
Yeah, they've been tremendous so far. Just everything, the linebackers, the pressure, and you're right, Jim. You heard it so much, and Bill Belichick says, look, we're 14-2. We lead the league in a lot of stats defensively. We're going to be okay. We did all right this year without some of those starters, and we'll get it done somehow today.
I love that deadpan look he gives you. I don't know. We won 14 games, you know. CSI Miami, a new episode Monday on CBS. A teenager's dream was to ride along with the police, but he picked the wrong day, and now the investigation will uncover a deadly crime spree leading to a surprise ending you won't believe. It's a new CSI Miami tomorrow at 10, 9 Central here on CBS. That was only a 29-yard boot by Miller, so the Colts begin at the 28.
Well, the Colts have been dominated. But you look at that scoreboard. You got the football, a 2-minute drive, and you're only down 6-0.
Out of the gun, Manning. Good catch this time. Stokely dives across the 40. And Rodney Harrison makes sure there was a little contact after 13 yards.
That's the exact play we saw earlier on 3rd and 3. Brandon Stokely faking, going across, making it hard on Troy Brown.
They fake to James into the line. Now they go to him. He's open. A flag is down in the secondary as James has it all the way to the New England 43.
Well, when it comes out of the secondary, you expect it to be illegal contact or holding on the defense. And, you know, Jim, real quick, the hurry-up offense, the Colts wanting to be so balanced, maybe what they need to do is the same thing the Patriots did. Change it up. Get the defense reeling, get them off balance, and make some pass plays.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, 95 defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
And that was on Roman Pfeiffer, and that was the exact call they would have liked to have had on Roman Pfeiffer a year ago at the end of that game on a couple of occasions against Marcus Pollard. And again, they were shut out here last January in the first half. 2 second-half touchdowns, but coming up short 24-14 in that one. It's Stokely plucking it for a first down with Troy Brown a couple of yards away.
Now, you know, I also said during the week, I thought this was the toughest matchup for this New England defense. Troy Brown, a converted wide receiver, against Brandon Stokely, arguably the best inside receiver right now in pro football. And I thought they would give Troy Brown help every single time, but they've left him alone, and Peyton Manning is going right to Brandon Stokely.
Again, they fake to Edgerrin. First down, they go back to him again. And tries to sidestep Vrabel, but he'll have none of that down at the 27. Indy with a full complement of timeouts.
That's the patience Peyton Manning was talking about. Don't force it down the field.
Second down and 5 as we move inside of a minute. Reaching back for the grab, it's Stokely, and that looks good for another first down.
Now that was a little change that time, trying to bring another defensive back in there a little quicker to help Troy Brown out. Randall Gay not able to get there fast enough, though.
So a timeout called by Indianapolis. There's Romeo Crennel.
Yeah, Romeo Crennel rumored, heard it quite a bit on TV today, rumored to be the next coach with the Cleveland Browns.
And what do you think of that?
I think it's well overdue, that's for sure. I think I also heard he might be the oldest first-time head coach in the NFL. I didn't know Romeo was 58. I was with him like 27 years ago. He was a young man then.
He was on that Giants staff.
That's right.
And there's a first down. Stokely's catch good for the first. Again, coming up, the Nextel halftime report with Greg and Dan and Shannon and Boomer. A look at the playoff picture, highlights of the Eagles' triumph from earlier today. And maybe Dan will tell us what he's going to be serving us next weekend when we all go on site to Pittsburgh in the AFC Championship game, Dan's hometown.
Yeah,
expecting a little home cooking. What do you think?
Yeah, he'll call the caterer. That's what Dan will do. But
360 yards in the first half against the Broncos last week. In the first half, he's over 100 thanks to this series where they're now starting to click.
You know, the Colts, when you watch their offense, it always, to me, seems to be better. They seem to be better when they just get a little frantic and keep things at a higher pace, a faster pace.
2 down linemen in as the pass falls incomplete. Roman Pfeiffer came blitzing. They only lined up again Jarvis Green and Ty Warren on that line.
Well, the idea, there are a couple of things that happen when you only have 2 defensive linemen in there. You can confuse the offense more by moving around, but most of all, it gives you better athletes so you can chase and beat up the wide receivers.
There was no timeout charged a moment ago to the Colts. Look at this. A little trickery up the middle they go, and that's good for a first down. Edgerrin James. Peyton walks nonchalantly to the sideline to distract him, and they snap it back to the edge. But a flag is down. Tony's saying, wait a minute, you can't take away that from us. We've been waiting for that right time. Brandon Stokely is furious.
Well, what might happen here? I don't know if they blew the whistle, as they would say, inadvertently.
Right, no snap, false start, 18, offense.
They got
5-yard penalty.
false start on Manning.
Well, did Peyton Manning, did he go towards the line of scrimmage? I'll tell you what he did wrong. He was underneath the center with his hands under there. And once you put your hands underneath the center, then a quarterback legally or whatever cannot go in motion. That's what Bill Carollo is saying.
So now, instead of the ball being down at the 11-yard line, they'll back them up 5.
And Jim, you could do that. Sometimes you can leave behind the center to go and give an audible. But when you're trying to deceive the defense, going in motion to draw them off sides or to run a trick play, that is a penalty.
It's 2nd and 15. 37 seconds in the half. Dallas Clark fields it and falls at the 16. Again, Indianapolis, now they use a timeout. They got that other timeout back because the officials had called for a stoppage of play first, is the word they give us upstairs, to measure for the timeout. So 3rd down, 3rd and about 5 coming.
Well, you look at this game so far, Jim, it's 6-0. It's because of the linebackers. Teddy Bruschi, boy, just recognizing plays. He is unbelievable. Mike Vrabel, he can cover you, he can tackle you, and on the pass rush causes the fumble. And then Teddy Bruschi, look all the way across the formation, recognizes the screen and stops the play and recovers the fumble, or takes the fumble, whatever you want to say.
Best when the Colts advance the football to the deepest point of the day for their side, it really starts to come down rather heavily.
I'll tell you this too, Jim, to go back when Peyton Manning was called for illegal procedure, if Bill Carollo, if he could see that and did it, that was really being heads up on his part, recognizing that and throwing the penalty flag.
Third down and 5. Needing to get to the 12 for a first. Only 28 seconds to operate with in the half.
Look at the defense. Look at all the movement.
Can the Colts put something on the board before the half? Manning's pass. Oh, what a lick. Stokely able to hold on. Asante Samuel smacks him. And the measurement, it looks like it's enough for the first down.
This is what they're doing. The outside defender now is coming off his man, and they're helping Troy Brown out in the slot. They were close a couple times, and this time Peyton Manning let him out into trouble.
Boy, that looked like helmet to helmet to me. You can't do that.
Well, it's only illegal, Jim, if he did not catch it and get a step or two in the ground, both feet, and has time, then, you know, helmet to helmet is legal.
It was right on the point of the reception. He had really not moved. What a job of holding on for Stokely, and they do have a first down. The conditions worsening late in the half here. 22 seconds to go, and the Colts in the last 6 minutes of this quarter have now started to get their rhythm.
They have. We got a half-inch of snow in the booth. It has definitely gotten worse, but the Colts are going with the win. Makes it easier on the quarterback to throw the ball.
Manning has the completion and hurries everybody to the line.
Marvin Harrison so quick on the outside, they cannot even bump him at the line of scrimmage.
With 8 seconds, he needs to go to the end zone here. Fires at the last second, almost picked off. Eugene Wilson. They were looking for Reggie Wayne, and now they'll bring out Vanderjagt.
Wow, it almost looked like last year. Peyton Manning thought somebody was open in the end zone and threw a huge interception on the move. you don't see quite as good, and gets very fortunate not to throw the pick.
So Vanderjagt comes out to give the Colts a 23-yard try, and they hold on a minute. They whistle the play dead before the kick. It's a timeout called by New England right before the snap. Well, Vanderjagt found himself in the news this week after a remark leading into this game. See Bruschi at the right of your screen at the last minute causes the confusion, and
Teddy Bruschi must have warned him he was going to wait to the very end to call it.
Vanderjagt made the remark this week that he felt like the Patriots were ripe for this occasion, ripe for the picking. Now, it had about a 2-day shelf life. I didn't actually think that it was that inflammatory a remark, actually.
Hey, it's the NFL. You take every little statement, and
even from a kicker.
Does it matter, Jim? Well, and if they don't say it, just make something up. Now, the coaches do that. They don't anything that they think is going to get their team a little more alert, giving them an edge, they go with it.
Rodney Harrison said if he played 50 or 60 plays, he wouldn't talk like that. But Vanderjagt, reliable with that right foot, connects from 23 yards. He's the most accurate kicker in the history of the league is Vanderjagt. So we close the half with the field goal. No touchdowns in Foxborough in the first 2 quarters.
Two good teams, well prepared, and the defenses have been physical, fast, and just making they're contesting every play. So when you get that, scoring it's just going to be tough. And now we're getting some conditions that are going to make it tougher on the offenses too.
Let's throw it down to Bonnie Bernstein.
Tony, your offense has gradually gained momentum throughout the half. What adjustments have you made on their defense?
Well, not much, other than we're just making some plays. We got to convert our 3rd downs, and we've kind of hurt ourselves with some penalties, but we're fortunate to only be 3 down. I think we can just play our normal game in the second half.
Coach, thanks.
Got to echo that. Feeling fortunate, down only 6-3.
Yeah, they were dominated for quite a while, but they hung in there and actually had a chance to take the lead. But he's right. Be happy with 6-3.
Manning completed 12 of his last 14. Brady and the Patriots kicked 2 field goals. Colts get 1 right before the half. 6-3 is the score. New England. Nextel halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
First day.
Hi, Mrs.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Halftime Report. Nextel helps groups get things done. Nextel, done.
And welcome back to our New York studios for the Nextel Halftime Report. Hi, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel, along with Dan, Shannon, and Boomer. It is a 6-3 New England lead at halftime. Until the last moments of the first half, Dan, it wasn't really the same Peyton Manning we'd seen all season long.
Well, it hasn't been. And, you know, you look at New England Patriots, and they're a team that wants to disrupt Peyton Manning. And you see in the first half here, Peyton had some problems throwing the football over the middle here. He gets a drop when it should have been caught. Then they get pressure. That's what New England Patriots want to do, disrupt his timing. Willie McGinnis, nice play here. Then they've been having a problem throwing screen passes, and there's another screen you get where Teddy Bruschi makes a great instinctive play, causing a turnover. And Peyton Manning almost throws an interception, which would have been extremely tough for the Indianapolis Colts. They come up with 3 points.
And Tom Brady's actually handling the weather pretty well. You can see him right here on first down, throwing for another first down here and moving around pretty good, avoiding the sacks. I'll tell you what, the key play in the first half, guys, Matt Light, false start, forced the Patriots into a field goal. You got to score touchdowns. You can't score field goals.
Yeah, and this is why they got Corey Dillon right here. Picks up tough yardage, and he's doing a great job of keeping that Indianapolis Colts offense off the field with some good, tough running. They were 27th in the league in rushing last year. This year, number 7. And look at Corey Dillon grow. The New England Patriots getting Corey Dillon was the biggest rip-off since the Louisiana Purchase. I don't know why Cincinnati would give him up, but I tell you what, they might not win the Super Bowl, the Patriots, but they are a better football team. It's going to be tough.
All right, now, have we seen enough from these teams in the first half to know what to expect in the second half?
If I'm Indianapolis Colts, I'm taking Troy Brown against Brandon Stokely. I'm saying, Stokely, I'm going to throw you 8 to 10 balls. I need you to get me 100 yards and a touchdown. If you do that, we're going to win the football game. You got one turnover, Indy. You don't turn the football anymore. You go to Brandon Stokely, you'll win this football game.
Big decision for Indianapolis as they come out of the locker room right now. Do I take the win and kick off with the win, or do I kick into the win and save the win for the fourth quarter? And Phil Simms is right. The linebackers of the Patriots are playing fantastic football, but they have to score touchdowns against the Indianapolis Colts. That false start penalty by Matt Light could cost them the game because they had a touchdown on the ground with Corey Dillon.
And if you're Belichick, you love what the New England's defense has done in the first half, and we talked about it on the pregame show. He's going to want to keep everything in front of him defensively as far as their secondary is concerned, try to not give up any big plays to the Indianapolis Colts, and they've done that so far, and it's worked very well for the Patriots. Got to continue to do that in the second half.
All right, want to remind you, we will all be at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh next Sunday night to bring you a special edition of the NFL Today, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, as we set the stage for the AFC Championship game between the Steelers and either the Colts or the Patriots. Earlier today in the NFC Divisional Playoff matchup, the Eagles head for their 4th straight NFC Conference Championship game. Donovan McNabb to Brian Westbrook for 7 yards and a 14-0 lead there. Dante Culpepper, 7 yards out, will run it in to cut the Eagle lead in half. But 1st and 10 from the Viking 14. McNabb to L.J. Smith. He's going to get hit. He loses the ball. What a fortuitous event for Freddie Mitchell. Touchdown. Eagles led 21-7, and this is the story of the Vikings. Gus Frerotte on the fake field goal looked. Randy Moss wasn't there. Moss had walked off the field. They would have had too many men on the field. 27-14 Philly, a confident Donovan McNabb.
We've been in this situation before. We know what we need to do. And if we just go out and just, do what we're supposed to do in our given positions, things should take care of itself. My eyes are still pretty hungry right now. So if you look into my eyes, you'll know what I'm talking about, Shannon.
Just didn't make enough plays against a team of this magnitude. You have to make plays when you have a chance to make plays because you don't know how many opportunities they're going to give you.
All right, so it's a 27-14 Eagle win. What's Atlanta going to see in those Donovan McNabb eyes next week?
A very confident guy is ready to go out and show the world that, hey, I'm a good football player. I'm going to get my team into the Super Bowl. But the Michael Vick experience is coming to town. It's going to be a very interesting matchup.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about with his eyes, but I know one thing, that he played a very weak Minnesota defense today. He was lucky to get them. He's going to get a much better defense next week against Atlanta. They're going to be all over him, and thank goodness for Brian Westbrook. That's all I can say. He's the key to that offense in Philadelphia.
Well, what's interesting to me is, Michael Vick, you're going to get the big plays out of him running the football. Can the Atlanta Falcons run the football successfully like they did against the Rams against the Eagles? I'm not sure, because the Eagles have a very athletic defense that's up the field and can make plays against the run.
Dante Culpepper and company are pretty formidable, but it's not going to be anything like what they're going to face, what the Eagles are going to face next week.
Well, it's all about defense and Michael Vick. And I'll tell you, Eddie Donatel has done a great job down there coordinating that defense. They're going to be up the field all over Donovan.
Want Donovan McNabb to know we look into Shannon Sharp's eyes every week. It's no grit shakes here either. We thank you for, thanks for watching the halftime report. We'll rejoin Jim and Phil after this.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Halftime Report. Nextel helps groups get things done. Nextel.
Join the team and donate.
He takes a step back. He's under attack, but he knows that no one can touch him now. He's got all kinds of time, all kinds of time. He's got all kinds of
time. CBS Sports presents the Nextel Halftime Report. Sponsored by Nextel Nationwide Walkie-Talkie.
6-3 Patriots at halftime. The team's now just starting to matriculate out to the field. And the snow starting to get a little bit more forceful here. We've got a thin coating on the field as well. Colts coming out down 3. It's been a bruising first half behind Brady and Brown and Brewski, and a heavy dose of Corey Dillon, who ripped off one long run of over 40 yards. Colts didn't appear to really get their balance going into the late stages of that first half. Third quarter coming up.
Now get 0 Michigan. Just watch.
(6-3) New England, with the winner advancing to Pittsburgh and the AFC Championship game next Sunday. And Phil, when we look at these two teams coming back out of the field, what do you think they're feeling right now as far as confidence, the mindset?
Well, I think they both went in at halftime feeling good about what they did in the first half. And I expect, even though the conditions have gotten a little tougher, I expect both offenses to now, they know what the defense is doing, to get in rhythm and be more productive here in the second half.
All right, first half numbers, the total yards almost identical, as the Colts picked up over 100 yards in the last 6 minutes of the first half. They moved it a couple of times, and they had the one strip away and recovery, a fumble recovery is how it went in the books by Brewski, as Indianapolis had threatened. Then they came back and kicked the field goal. Vanderjagt on the last play of the half. Martin Gramatica, who has been handling the kickoff duties late in the season, inactive today, so Vanderjagt has that part of his job back, and a one-hopper. It's picked up and run out all the way to the 45-yard line by Brewski. So New England with an excellent start here to the second half, and let's get the report from Bonnie.
Well, Jim, this is the first half the entire season. The Colts haven't put any points on the board. Bill Belichick says it has to do with team defense. I asked him to point out individuals or parts of the defense that really stood out. He said, I've emphasized with my players all week, we have to do it well across the board. We can't just try to stop Peyton Manning. We can't just try to stop Edgerrin James. We got to do it with everybody for 60 minutes.
All right, Bonnie, remember that we saw Patrick Pass go out early with an ankle sprain. He's back in as a lead blocker for Corey Dillon. No gain. Pass had seen a little action late in the second quarter on some special teams, so they have him back in their artillery.
Well, I think the fact that both defenses in this game really were stressing, don't give up a big play, and so far it hadn't even been close. Neither team has even been challenged down the field much. Tom Brady threw one long one down there, but the defense is doing a good job keeping everything in front, making it tough for the offense to drive down the field.
On 2nd and 10, Brady from the pocket dumps it, and that's only a 1-yard gain to Dillon. Rob Morris with the immediate hit. We'll give him 2, so 3rd and 7 or 8, 7 we'll call it, with a minute into the third quarter. There's Brady's first half numbers.
Yeah, they're pretty good, and just the total yards tells you a lot of short passes. And when you're practicing, just like that last play, Tom Brady throws it over the middle. You think, well, let's throw it short. If that's what they give us, let's take it. But you think you're going to get more yards after the catch than either team has gotten so far today.
On this passing down, they bring in Kevin Falk, flanking the quarterback out of the gun. And Brady steps in, fires, almost picked off by Bashir.
Well, pressure on Tom Brady. The New England Patriots not able to take advantage of the fact that they got a really good return on the opening kick of the second half. He's waiting for it to come down the field. He's forced up in the pocket. Then he's pressured, and he's really extremely fortunate. Dwight Freeney. Wow, look at this. That's a double spin move.
Yeah, double spinning past Christian Faurier, the second tight end for the Pats. Josh Miller. And everybody move out of the way as the signal from Troy Walters. And there is a flag down.
What I was telling you earlier in the game, Jim, I was bragging about the Patriots, how they had blocked Dwight Freeney. But even when they're double teaming, you can see how dynamic and how explosive. And as Tom Brady said, he never slows down, and he has not slowed down so far.
You know, the Colts were already looking at beginning their first series of the second half inside the 20, and if it goes against them, they could be back inside the 10.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 53, the kicking team, after the ball was dead. It'll be a 15-yard penalty. Indianapolis keeps the ball, first down.
And it goes the other way, and it's a big one. Moving it across the 30 on Larry Izzo.
Oh, you just saw it from behind. Larry Izzo taking a shot.
Yeah, Wayne Bacon.
Hitting Wayne Bacon, and so that was pretty violent and pretty easy to see.
Edgerrin James into the pile for a gain of 1. Will the Colts come out and run as smooth and efficiently as they did in the late stages of the second quarter? In the AFC Championship game last year, Peyton's completion percentage under 50%. Through the 4 picks, the passer rating at 35. It's 80 today, the rating.
I think he's thrown the football very well, considering the conditions and the fact that he's going against a pretty good defense.
Fake to James, and again, this is the screen play. Waiting for his blockers, and he scoots across the first down yardage behind Jeff Saturday. He ran for a first down.
Just really well executed this time by good fake by Peyton Manning. Everybody sees all these play action passes all the time by the Colts. So you turn and run backwards. And then when they throw the screen, you've got to be athletic and very aggressive to get up and stop the long game.
So a new set of downs for the Colts, who were 3 and out on the first 2 series of the afternoon. In fact, 3 of their first 4 as Roman Pfeiffer wraps up. Like that Willie McGinnis wraps up Edgerrin James for a 1-yard loss.
Well, Willie McGinnis says, well, if you're not going to block me, I'll just come flying down here and make a tackle. It's almost reminiscent of what he did in the opening game of the year. Late in the game, unblocked, comes in, sacks Peyton Manning, and knocks him out of field goal range unless the Patriots win.
Well, it was a 48-yard try in the end by Vanderjagt, which he missed, which ended his streak of 42 in a row, the all-time record. Otherwise, it would have been a 36-yard try to force overtime. McGinnis pushed him back. It's 2nd and 11. And James near midfield. Again, it's McGinnis and Vrabel. You thought that Edgerrin James, you said at the beginning that he might catch a lot of balls today. That's now 5 receptions.
Well, I was when I listened to Peyton Manning talk to us last night, I think his number says don't be surprised if he catches anywhere from 10 to 15 passes.
Wow.
So if the defense wants to drop back, he'll continue to throw it short.
3rd and 4. Looking for Stokely. He has it, but just short of the first, it appears. Look at Rodney Harrison come in, say, move that football back. I think they're going to be a half-yard shy.
It does look at Brandon Stokely has been doing the play where he comes in motion, runs a little bit, and he stops and comes back from where he started from. This time he goes across the formation, and there is no doubt when you look at it right there, he is short of the first down.
You notice they didn't have Troy Brown on him that time.
Change defenses up.
No fooling around with this one for Tony Dungy on 4th and a half yard. Troy Brown is in for the punt return. Andrew Smith would like to pin him deep. Punting downwind. Their catch signal, and they clear out for Brown's catch at the 12. Still 6-3, Patriots, 3rd quarter.
CBS.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
How about this NFL.com poll of the day? With the game on the line, which of these two would you like leading your team in the final minutes? We're probably going to find out. You can vote Brady or Manning at NFL.com. Brady and the Patriots with the 3-point lead from the 13-yard line, and Dillon is dropped back for a 1-yard loss. Bashir came up. Cato June also on the hit.
Well, you see the turf here, the snow. It's still pretty good footing for the players out there. I have not seen anybody slip. It's not hurting the pass receivers going down the field.
And it's easier to play on this field than it was when we were here for the Ravens game in the mud over Thanksgiving weekend. 2nd down and 11. Brady has the first. Christian Fauria with the reception near the 30-yard line. Gain of 17.
Yeah, good job. Dwight Freeney again gets close to Tom Brady as he throws the football. But he sees a little opening to the inside and throws it perfectly low down in there where only his tight end can catch it. Gosh, look at those spins. Probably could have been a hold there.
But the first down for New England in 15 minutes on the game clock. Just tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Dillon able to pick up about 4.
Well, we've talked so much about Dwight Freeney leading into this football game, and you know he has not disappointed anybody when you watch this play. Double teamed, he never stops. Look at that, just he's out of control, gets knocked to the ground all the time, gets all over Tom Brady, ruined the screenplay, gets the sack. He single-handedly has ruined about 6 pass plays of the New England Patriots so far today.
He steps out on this play. Scioli is in for him on 2nd and 6, and Dillon able to find all kinds of room with Freeney off the field, running behind Christian Fauria for 9 yards. Take a little look back into a window of time in Bill Belichick's career as a coach. This is the 30th year for Belichick in the NFL. He actually started in the NFL in the Colts organization as an assistant to Ted Marchibroda. Not an assistant coach, but an assistant to the coach when they were the Baltimore Colts back in 1975. Kevin Falk in the backfield, 1st down. And Falk hurdles ahead for 10 yards. Bob Sanders had to come up and make the stop. But Marchibroda is here. He does the radio broadcast for the Colts, and you know, they had all kinds of nicknames there. I wish they'd open up the window, talking about a window of time.
Yeah, what's happened?
Coach Marchibroda, though, very proud of a young man he knew as Bedcheck Billy, Bad News Billy. If you saw Belichick coming, you knew you were in trouble back in those days.
That's right. He was going to maybe be the guy to tell you to go see the head coach. You might be released. I saw Coach Marchibroda. They're measuring for a 1st down right now. But I saw Ted Marchibroda a week ago, and Coach Belichick's name came up, and immediately goes, well, Billy, it's always Billy. It's not Bill, Coach Belichick, it's always Billy. And you said, Jim, he used to drive Ted Marchibroda to work every day, and they had those discussions, and what a guy to learn under.
No, he really interned for him at first, but then he got that first big paycheck.
Yeah.
Thanks to Mr. Marchibroda, and you ask Bill, he knows right down to the penny how much it was worth.
Well, it was what was it?
$22.83, his first check in the league.
$25 a week.
With a little tax taken out.
Yeah.
So Freeney is still out as it's 2nd and the nose of the football to go for New England. It was an impressive piece of running by Kevin Falk a moment ago. Looking very fresh. Oh, in and out of the hands of Christian Fauria. We had some drops in the first half by the usually sure-handed Colts, who were shaky at first, and Fauria drops the 1st down here.
Well, what it is, the Patriots just trying to take advantage of the situation. Tom Brady saw the defense, knew if he ran this play-action pass, there was going to be somebody wide open going across the field. It was Christian Fauria.
Still, it's just 3rd and inches, and Freeney is out. Pass and Dillon lined up in the eye behind Brady. It's Dillon, 1st down with ease. And moving it down to the Colts 45.
Well, they thought they could run this football on this defense today. At times, they have had really good success. Charlie Weiss sticking with it. He's been patient all year. Well, in fact, we've heard Tom Brady say, hey, sometimes he thinks they're a little too patient with it because it takes his rhythm out. What did he say earlier in the year? I went to the sideline. We'd run the ball 7 straight times. I opened my mouth and I almost said, like, when are we going to throw the dang ball? And he said, he was quiet at the last second because he knew better.
Brady back in on 1st down. And look at this, shaking tackles It's Dillon down to the 40 and a gain of 5. Again, sidestepping the early pressure. Coming up next week on CBS, a math genius who can use stats to solve crimes. The premiere of Numbers is next Sunday after the AFC Championship game here on CBS.
Let me say this too, this Colts defense, it has improved. It's much maligned. It's young, it's undersized, it is fast. All the money's been put in the offense. They have really accounted themselves well here today.
Kevin Falk cuts back to the left side of Bob Sanders, the rookie who has so much promise. We had a visit with him yesterday. And you like his physical play, as he says that's the key. Play physical, play fast, hit hard, and you say this guy's going to be a good one in the league.
Well, he is. He's explosive. He's a big playmaker. And in other words, you throw it down the middle of the field, he's not afraid to go in there and make the hit, the cause the fumble or the football pop up, get an interception. Second-round draft pick from Iowa, and he has not disappointed the Colts organization with his play.
It is 3rd and 2 inside of a fast-moving third quarter. 5 minutes. Brady, open man in the flat. Patrick pass. First down to the 24. Boy, he was flat on the field in the first quarter after Dillon landed on his right ankle. Didn't look too promising that pass would return, but he has. And 15, give him 14 yards for the first down.
Deion Branch in motion, confused the defense. Who's got who? That's what happens, and that's why Patrick Pass is wide open out in the flat. You could see him going, okay, when somebody comes across, everybody's got to change who they are covering, and nobody got Patrick Pass that time.
On first down, it's Dillon. And again, written down by Bashir, running behind Andruzzi. And Dillon's moving in on 100. He's 7 yards shy.
I think when he came up here to the Patriots this year, Shannon Sharp said something about it's the steal of the century, but he's patient, he's strong, he has done this so many times, and you could see it on that run. He will find the hole and take advantage of it.
A lot of people thought this might be a 25-30 carry day for Dillon. He comes out, Falk comes in. Falk wide open. Down to the 10-yard line. Andruzzi again opening up things. Doss and Harper had to come up from the secondary to make the hit.
Well, we see it with so many teams. They bring in the second running back, and it's a nice change of pace. Look at the blocking up front. Matt Light, nice job. Gets his man completely out of the way. Wide receivers, David Givens blocking down the field. But the offensive line just keep going at it. The defensive line gambling a little too much, thinking pass. And that's why the Patriots are running it so well now.
It's 1st and goal at the 10. It's Falk weaving down to the 7. This is the second time in this game they've had a goal-to-go situation beginning at the 10-yard line. And again, they thought for a moment they had a touchdown when they went for it on 4th and goal from the 1, only to have it taken off the board as there was a procedure penalty called on Matt Light that resulted then in the field goal by Vinatieri. 2:20. That's all that remains in the third quarter. 14th play of this drive. They had a 16-play drive earlier. On 2nd and goal, draw. Falk. And a huge 3rd and goal from the 5 on the way.
Well, let's say this. The Patriots, their goal on defense today was to see if they could hold the Colts to 3 field goals. And now you look at it. This is the third, Jim, you talked about it. Third time you're down in there. Colts trying to turn the tables on them. Hold them to a field goal, and it's like no damage is done.
They bring in Troy Brown. Now he steps out. David Patton's in. 3rd and goal. They've had it for over 9.5 minutes in this quarter. From the 5, Brady with time. Now on the run. Throws. Touchdown. Touchdown, Patriots. David Givens.
Well, the one time the Colts needed a pass rush, Down on the goal line, they did not get it done. Tom Brady, with the extra time, moves out of the pocket and finds David Givens for the touchdown.
And this for the 10-point lead. Vinatieri, good. There was only one Patriot touchdown a year ago in the AFC Championship game. It was a touchdown pass to Givens, and that today is our first touchdown of the afternoon.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39. Taco Bell, think outside the bun. And by Nextel. Nextel helps groups get things done. Nextel, done.
It took 43.5 minutes of action before we saw our first touchdown in this game. David Givens. A year ago in the AFC final, Patriots had 5 Vinatieri field goals, a safety, and only 1 touchdown, and that was a pass to Givens. A little confusion here, and the Colts just fall on it with James Mungro. (13-3) New England.
Access NFL.com for live scores and stats. And after the games, AOL members get exclusive NFL.com features only on AOL.
How long does it take to get hooked on the new CSI? About a New York minute.
No one sleeps until the shooter's caught.
CSI New York, Wednesday.
Watch the touchdown. David Givens coming across the field. The lack of a pass rush allows Tom Brady. Defensive lineman drops back in coverage. Nobody on the quarterback allows him to move and allows David Givens to go all the way across where the defense overcommitted to get the touchdown catch.
Well, the pressure is on Peyton Manning and the Colts. Down 10 with a little more than a minute to go, third quarter. Up ahead for 3 with Edgerrin James tonight. Cold case, a new one. The boxer was going to be the next Rocky until tragedy struck him down in the ring. And now a referee's deathbed confession could prove it was murder. It's a new episode of Cold Case tonight after 60 minutes here on CBS.
You know, I'm kind of surprised. I thought in the second half, after the success they had in the first half, that the Colts would come out and kind of go hurry up, no huddle. They didn't do it in the first drive, and they're not doing it this time either.
It's amazing, though. It's the only second series of the half. With less than a minute to play in the third, Manning's pass to Wayne, his second catch, with Randall Gay on the coverage. Second catch by Wayne.
I tell you, that just shows you the strength of Peyton Manning, kind of backpedaling and still throws it to the far sideline. But the blocking up front, good enough to allow Manning the extra time to throw it down the field to Reggie Wayne.
Now operating at the 41. Stretch play, Edgerrin James. And he is run down right down the line of scrimmage. Rodney Harrison and Mike Vrabel stop him for no gain.
You hear those names a lot. Vrabel, Rodney Harrison.
Well, Harrison this week in talks with us said Peyton Manning's a great quarterback, but if he's moving around with his feet and all, he's not the same MVP quarterback. He was the one who talked about trying to get him off the spot, because if he sits there, he'll kill you. What have they done to him so far as that goes?
They have taken the deep throws down the field away from Peyton Manning and made it difficult for him to have those 10-play scoring drives.
Into the quarter.
Chevy.
We start the final quarter. Peyton Manning, who has never won here in Foxborough, has had the season of all seasons for quarterbacks. The 49 touchdowns. Incredible performance in the wild card win a week ago over Denver. Only 3 points by this high-powered Colts attack through 3 quarters, and that will set up 3rd and long for Indianapolis, the 4th highest scoring team in the history of the league, with only a field goal through 3 quarters.
Well, a couple reasons. The defense has been outstanding. The offense has controlled the football, and the linebacking core of this defense. Teddy Bruschi, look, he's faked to one side. Oh, he recognizes a screen, and Peyton Manning has to throw it away again on a screen play. The linebackers are the story so far for this New England defense.
3rd down and 10. Excellent protection this time. Now it'll come out of the pocket and incomplete with Bruschi and Samuel both in the area of Brandon Stokely.
It's all about preparation, Jim, and watch this. Brandon Stokely comes across the field. Mike Vrabel is just going to miss him. First off, he can't hit these little guys, but look at the defense. They pass it off. He comes up. You let one guy go and you wait for the next one to come into your area. That's what they are doing so well with here so far today.
Hunter Smith back on the field. Hunting into the wind. Colts into the wind this final quarter. And it's a good one. It lands at about the 10. And finally falls silent at the 5. Teddy Bruschi and his linebacking core all over the field as the Patriots lead.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by IBM, helping companies innovate in an on-demand world, and by the all-new Odyssey from Honda, a great idea made better.
Jim Nance and Phil Simms and Bonnie Bernstein in Foxborough. We're in the first minute of the final quarter with the Patriots, the Super Bowl champions, leading 13-3 with possession at their own 6. Come out with Dillon, stacked up right away by Gary Brackett. Tomorrow is all new on CBS, beginning with Still Standing, then Listen Up, and TV's most watched comedies. Everybody Loves Raymond. 2.5 Men starring Charlie Sheen, and then a new episode of Monday's #1 show, CS Miami, plus The Late Show, David Letterman, tomorrow here on CBS.
You said it, Jim, during the commercial. Big moment for Indy's defense. You got to get this game turned around. You're down 10 points. 14 minutes ago, you can give your offense tremendous field position if you can stop them without a first down here.
2nd down and 9 for Brady. From the goal line, launching it long with a man open, and Patton not able to run under it.
What a call. I'll tell you what, Tom Brady changed the play. Do you think they got a little confidence and belief in their quarterback to change the play in the end zone? And this football, it looked like it was going to be perfect. Patton just can't quite get there.
Patton's caught some long ones this year, his best ever season. By the way, for those expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS, this divisional playoff game between the Colts and the Patriots. And we remind you, 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast. Here's a play right here that Indianapolis must key in on. 3rd down and 9. Brady spinning. Brady from the end zone. And the catch is made by Kevin Falk for the first down.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jim. I just wanted to circle Dwight Freeney. They blocked him long enough. The coverage down the field was excellent, but nobody covers the running back coming out of the backfield. And Tom Brady predetermined that he was going there. Did you see the little pump fake? Dwight Freeney is blocked. The little pump fake, he knew it was going to open up Kevin Falk to his right, and he made a good throw.
Saw the little bobble and the hold on for the clean catch in the end, and Dillon bounced out after a gain of a yard. Let's send it back downstairs. Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Jim, in his first playoff game, Corey Dillon's been such a huge part of the Patriots running game, and after 7 frustrating seasons in Cincinnati, comes to the Patriots, sets his career rushing record, and he says, you know, I kind of wonder what would have happened if I would have spent my entire career here. On the other side, he says, maybe I needed to experience all of those frustrating times to appreciate what I have now and pass on to the younger guys, hey, don't ever give up on your dreams.
Yep, he said this playoff-free stretch of his career made him grow as a person and learn to never give up on yourself. Only played in 1 postseason game in his career, a Holiday Bowl, when he was at Washington for 1 year. Brady, what a catch, Daniel Graham, but there is a flag.
What a throw by Tom Brady.
will wipe out the 11-yard gain. And the holding signal to the
Prior
benches.
To the pass, holding, 50, defense. That penalty will be declined. Result of the play, first down.
Holding on David Thornton. Not what Tony Dungy was hoping for.
Well, playing under pressure, that's what this team is doing right now. The New England Patriots. There's the holding penalty. Tom Brady, perfect throw. David Thornton, there's nothing you can do about that.
You know, Graham, with that catch, becomes the 9th different receiver today. Catch a pass to Brady, who's throwing again and almost intercepted by Cato June. He had a read on that one. Would have been a significant lift for the Colts, who have not forced a turnover.
They've had a couple chances today, you know, and you never know when your opportunity is going to come to make a game-changing play, a big one. Not that Cato June could have intercepted that ball, but it was a chance to knock it up in the air, get a deflection, and get a big turnover.
12-19 remaining with a 10-point lead. 2nd down and 10, New England. Brady overthrows Givens. Everyone looking for a flag, and now at long last one comes flying in, but there was a 2 or 3 second delay. Nick Harper was in on David Givens, and I thought they weren't going to throw a flag.
I thought maybe they wouldn't, because he was not going to be able to catch the pass.
Yeah, was it catchable? They may pick this one up.
No, they'll call holding if nothing else.
Pass interference, defense, 25, hooking around the waist and restricting the receiver. Automatic first down, the spot of the foul.
Now, you know,
it was a catchable pass.
You are allowed, he says it's not a catchable, but he hooked him, puts the hand on the right hand, and turned the receiver. That's what they look for that time, and David Givens knows.
David Givens with the game's only touchdown, with 3 touchdowns in his last 3 playoff games. Last year's AFC final, touchdown catch in the Super Bowl, and now this one today. End around, Deion Branch. Raheem Brock able to fall on him after a gain of 4. So trickery, going with the passing game, not content just to run it here with the 10-point lead, this Patriot offense.
Well, this Patriots offense, they said they were going to be patient, and that's what they have been. They can do it because their defense is playing great. You got the running game by Corey Dillon. Kevin Falk's done it. Tom Brady, when he's not getting pressured, has moved around and made 2 big passes, completions, while moving out of the pocket today.
Remember, this series started back at the 6-yard line, and now it's moved into Indy territory. With Dillon. Dillon all the way out to the first down. That should give him 100 right on the number. Actually, he's above it by a couple. Corey Dillon has a 100-yard game in his first playoff game.
Well, this drive, it has a chance to just signify everything that the Patriots are about, what this game was about. They said they wanted to be more physical. They have done that on both sides of the football today. You heard the players. I was listening. Run the ball. We're going to run it. We're not any of these other teams that couldn't get it done against the Indianapolis Colts. We will, and so far today, they have.
Peyton Manning has to be saying over there on the bench, come on, guys, I've been sitting here forever, it seems like. Brady on first down. Dumps it. Dillon. Good piece of running for another 9. Remember, if they advance here today, Dillon and the Patriots will head to Pittsburgh. He did not play in that first matchup against the Steelers.
Well, here's what they're trying to do. Go deep to Graham. There's going to be somebody out in the flat. Watch how they're covered. And then Tom Brady, you talking about patience? He waits, he waits. He throws it short over the middle. So he did not take a chance. He showed his patience, and look how he's rewarded with an 8-yard pickup.
Dillon missed the game with a thigh bruise at Pittsburgh. And the Patriot win streak came to a close. Straight ahead, driving for the first down, it's Brady.
You know, Jim, we've said so much about Corey Dillon, Peyton Manning trying to stay warm if they get the football back. But we talked about Corey Dillon. I thought it was interesting what he said to us on Friday. He says, you walk around this place, he's the newcomer. They've won 2 Super Bowls. Nobody wears their ring, and I mean nobody. I've yet to see either one of those Super Bowl rings. They don't talk. They talk like a team that has had no success. They act like it, and I tell you, I've never been around any place like it where everybody has the same motive. They want to accomplish winning another Super Bowl.
Kevin Falk for 2 yards. Larry Triplett makes the hit, whistles blow after a gain of 2. But point is, I guess, for Dillon, he comes in, it's got to be a little intimidating. This team has had so much success, but no one wearing him out or making him feel unwelcome because of the success they had before he got here.
Listen, you remember the first preseason game we did? I said something about the Super Bowl rings to Bill Belichick.
Didn't want to hear about it.
He goes, do you have anything else you want to talk about? I was like, wow. Okay.
The other thing was, I remember back then, Ty Law told us, we're not defending anything. That was last year. Forget calling us defending Super Bowl champions. That's already done. We're not defending it. We're out to win another one. We just beat the play clock. We go back to Falk and Triplett again, and on the hit with 8.5 to play. Tonight on CBS, the lineup starts with America's #1 news magazine, 60 Minutes. Then a new cold case, and CSI New York is on a special night. That's all tonight here on CBS. Now for the Colts, they have to allow here nothing more than a field goal. In this half, the Colts have only had the football twice for 35 yards. That's it. 3rd and 8. Go with the run. And Dillon breaks free. Bashir has an angle on him, but Dillon dives to the pylon. Hold on, they're going to say he's just shy. I thought he might have had it. Out at the 1. Dillon, it looked for certain as though Dillon was going to be stopped. They'd have to bring out Vinatieri, and then he just breaks free. Didn't give up.
This is just enforcing your will on the other team. The blocking, nobody's now in pursuit of Corey Dillon. You saw everybody down the field. And Corey Dillon, look, nobody able to get off the blocks of the New England offensive lineman, and Corey Dillon almost takes it to the end zone.
Dillon thought he had it. Again, if he just touched the pylon, which he did, it's a touchdown. But they say his left foot, he just toed the sideline, and he's out at the 1. Timeout called by the Patriots. Patriots' 3rd drive of the day. That's been a long one. 14th play coming up for the backbreaker.
Just help that.
We're back and straight ahead from the 1-yard line. Brady dives ahead. Touchdown, New England.
Well, Jim, Tom Brady, you kind of said it. He had to be doing a slow burn up here this week where nobody was talking about him. It was all about the Colts and Peyton Manning and their offense. Well, he's done his talking on the field.
He's never lost a playoff game. Tom Brady from a yard out has now thrown for a touchdown and run for another. The Patriots had called timeout. Thought they might challenge the Dillon run, say he was in for the touchdown. Of little concern because on the very next snap, it's Brady plunging ahead from a yard away, and the Patriots are cruising.
I'll have the green salad.
How about that drive? 94 yards, used up half a quarter, and they have now had 3 drives today of at least 14 plays. They had the 16-play drive where they thought they had the touchdown, but was taken off the board because of a procedure penalty, a field goal. 16, 15 for a touchdown, and now 14 for another touchdown. This kick drives Dominique Rhodes back into the end zone for a touchback. And remember, on that series, they faced 3rd and 10 back at their own 6, and Falk picked up a 1st down on an 11-yard grab.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Thank You from Citi, a new kind of rewards program from a card you can count on. TGI Friday's new $12.99 three-course menu. Everyone could use more Fridays. And by Miller. There's good enough and there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call.
Here, honey.
Minutes remain at Gillette Stadium. The Colts can only shake their head. This is just an amazing team here at New England. All week, everyone talking up the Colts, who have managed only a field goal today. And in and out of the hands of Edgerrin James. That is, by my count, the fourth drop of the day by Indy.
I'll tell you what it is, Jim. And I'm not going to say it was different, but you said early in the game, when they lost the opening contest up here this year, they all said, well, we lost a home game. That's how important the season is. If the Colts, if they played the Patriots in the Dome, on the AstroTurf, the way they're designed to play on, or what they were built for,
different game?
It could change. Well, of course, a lot of things would be different.
Reggie Wayne slicing through on the slant for the first hand, and the fumble recovered by New England. Teddy Bruschi with the recovery. Harrison knocked it loose.
That's the same play that Reggie Wayne scored on last week against the Denver Broncos, but it's changed here today. The pressure is greater. The hitting is more ferocious. The weather is tough.
Patriots take over 20-3, controlling the Colts from the start. 1 week from today, don't miss the premiere of Numbers, a new drama about two brothers who will change the way you look at crime solving. Rob Morrow, David Krumholtz star in Numbers, premiering next Sunday after the AFC Championship game. Who would have imagined the numbers posted here today? Teddy Bruschi with 2 fumble recoveries.
Well, they're right. You know, you can say what you want. And
now we're hearing that a challenge has been issued
by Tony Dungy. Here comes the play. It's the screen that worked so well last week. Roman Pfeiffer, Rodney Harrison, and
boy, that's not a good challenge.
Might as well, man.
That's a hard case to win right there.
It is tough.
That was a tough one. Teddy Bruschi, this linebacking core for the Patriots. We've been calling their names all day, Phil. Bruschi and Vrabel, McGinnis.
Willie McGinnis, Rodney Harrison. And, you know, I don't want to separate them from the rest of them because it's just been just what we said from the start, what they wanted, to be physical, to out-hit them. And they have been, and the challenge is, okay, he is not down. It is a fumble. No question about it, but
Indy challenging if Wayne was down before the fumble, and it shouldn't take too long to settle this case.
Well, I don't know. You know, I watched all the shows today leading up to this game, and there were quite a few people that still thought the Patriots might win it. But, you know, how can you go against what they have done?
But plenty of people did. Let's face it. Most people were talking up Colts. They felt it around here. You know, Bill Belichick told us they've really been almost put into an underdog role this week. And that's okay. We won 14 games. I don't know. We'll try the best we can. The other thing is, Tyrone Poole, Ty Law, the talk of those two being out, how would they adjust? Well, they've really been out almost the whole season, those two starting corners.
That was the first thing that Bill Belichick said to us. Hey, guys, you know, he kind of gave us a lesson. We've been this way most of the year. Well, I don't know what he's saying. I can't read lips, but he's saying it's going to be New England's ball.
So they've charged the Colts with the timeouts. 7 minutes to go, and the football at the 35 of Indianapolis. And New England inching closer to going back to the Steel City to try to make up for one of the 2 losses this year. That first loss of the season back on October 31st. They had run off 6 wins to open the season And then the Steelers jumped on them 21-3 in the first quarter. And without Corey Dillon, they really had to ditch the running game that day. If you remember.
Yeah, I think what they run for?
6 attempts for 5 yards. The 6 attempts, the lowest since the Chicago Cardinals back in a game in 1933. And the 5 yards, an all-time franchise low. But again, no Dillon. Remember Tom Brady telling us the following week when we were in St. Louis, we want another shot at those guys. Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. You know, too, Tim, just to go back, you know, you talk about Teddy Bruschi, Mike Vrabel, there's Roman Pfeiffer, Ted Johnson, Willie McGinnis, all of them. You know, I think about this defense. It's built so much around those linebackers. Bill Belichick really made his name being a linebacker coach. He did it with the Giants. Had a pretty good group there. Lawrence Taylor, Carl Banks, Harry Carson, Pepper Johnson, who's now on his defensive staff. So he puts a lot of responsibility on them. And they're interchangeable guys. They can rush the passer. They can cover. They're big enough to stop the run. And they never let him down.
2nd down and 5. Dillon, another carry. Chased outside, and Bob Sanders comes up. 3rd and short coming. Again, Dillon so many times looks like he's going to be stopped for a loss or stacked up at the line of scrimmage, and the one he just ripped off down to the 1 looked like he was going to be stopped short of a first, and they'd have to bring out Vinatieri for a field goal try. Next thing you know, he's cut to the outside and set up the Brady touchdown.
Well, he's got deceptive speed. That play there just illustrated. I thought he was going to get pulled down from behind, but he always seems to have just enough to get past that first guy to pick up, you know, that make a 2-yard gain into an 8-yard gain.
Over 200 yards rushing by New England. 3rd and short. It's Dillon. And again, was he down? Maybe. No. They'll give him the dive ahead for another first down.
It all goes hand in hand. They were able to stay with the running game, finally wear out a much smaller defense, I think, than their offensive line size-wise. They could be patient because their defense came through big time and stopped Peyton Manning in the high-scoring offense that we've seen for the whole year.
2-1, nearly 2-1 time of possession. I mean, the Patriots basically just took the 3rd quarter away.
Well, I heard the references to this would be like the Super Bowl that the Giants beat the Buffalo Bills in, where it was 40-20 in time of possession, and I said that's impossible. That can never happen in this game. The Patriots are. They can't do to this Colts team. The Colts are too good. You know, I don't like to admit it too often, but I was wrong.
Well, it's the first time all season.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's not too bad.
It took me a while.
2nd and 5 coming up with 4:20 remaining. And Dillon's over 140. Took him 9,696 yards from scrimmage before he ever made a playoff game. That's the most yards from scrimmage, most rushing yards also ever in the history of the league without being in a playoff game until today. Kevin Falk, what a boost he has been. Not much on that carry for Kevin Falk.
I'll tell you what it does, Jim. You just said that about Corey Dillon. I'll tell you, you know, an environment can change anybody. Always noted to be a troublemaker, a malcontent, all that stuff in Cincinnati. And he comes up here and I don't know. I never doubted that he would not fit in up here just because I understand what they got going, how they operate. And, you know, you can't stand out with this team because all the other players will not let you. They don't speak out. They don't say the wrong thing to the press. And all those little things, they show up on the field for the New England Patriots.
It's 3rd and 6 as we approach 3 minutes to go. Coming in on Brady, and he is sacked back at the 35. It may take him out of field goal range. That's Larry Triplett for a 13-yard loss. Yeah, they're going to bring out, it looks like, Josh Miller in a timeout called by the Colts. Triplett makes the play, knocks the Patriots back with 3:10 remaining.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And by Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard.
Manning warms up the hands. He'll be coming back out on the field here. But down 17 with only 3 minutes, 10 seconds remaining. The triplet sack takes Vinatieri out of the equation. The pooch kick by Miller. Cherry is down there to cover it. So too is Bantakane, who falls on it at the 4-yard line. And again tonight begins with America's #1 news magazine, 60 Minutes, followed by a new cold case. CSI New York's on a special night tonight here on CBS, America's most watched network. Tom Brady throwing a touchdown and running for a touchdown in this half. And a trio of heroes, as they're known. 6 receptions, short yardage for Stokely. Harrison again, 3 grabs like he had in the AFC final last year. And Ty Law was on him. And now Reggie Wayne, his last grab led to a fumble. Hank Poteet is in at the bottom of the screen, just signed this week. He's in on Reggie Wayne. Manning looks that way, now throws it. And right at Poteet. How about this kid Poteet, 31, with a flag down? He was cut at the end of training camp by the Carolina Panthers. Watched the entire season at home on a couch on the sideline, only to be signed this week.
Prior to the pass, holding, 31, defense, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
And there you go. He comes off the couch. He gets hit with a flag.
Got to shake off the rust.
Coming up, the Subway postgame show with Greg and Dan and Shannon and Boomer. We're going to hear from the winner, some of the winners here of today's game. They have no defensive lineman in on this play. Look at this formation. Bruschi is right over the football.
Nobody is down in the stance yet. Oh, there goes the linebacker, Willie McGinnis. 2-man rush.
Manning to Stokely. Brown on the hit and others.
They are not going to give up the big pass. A couple things. Peyton Manning has actually thrown the football well today. He's been on target. Some drops, but nobody getting open deep and nobody catching the football and running for extra yards.
Vrabel at his feet, almost picked off by McGinnis. You could come up with some career highlights for McGinnis in games just against Indianapolis.
Gosh, I thought 4 years ago, I said, boy, Willie McGinnis, he's going to have a hard time hanging in much longer. He's getting, you know, maybe a step slow, all that, but he is recovered from injuries, and he is a perfect fit for this defense.
2nd down and 10.
All linebackers and defensive backs in the game.
Only 2 rushing. Manning, he's past the line now, and he slides at the feet of Bruschi. Manning actually had the 4th longest run of the year against the Patriots. A 19-yard scramble in the season opener. 2:09, trying to get one more play in before the 2-minute warning. Bantakane in on him. Pass away to James. He spins out to the 37 for a first down as we reach the 2-minute warning here in Foxborough. 20-3, the champs. Again tonight on CBS 60 Minutes Cold Case, CSI New York on a special night here tonight on America's most watched network. Averaged over 32 points a game. 4th highest scoring team in the history of the league in one season. Over 500 points. 49 a week ago, including 35 by halftime. Only a Vanderjagt field goal to close out the first half today. Bruschi on the coverage. James just running backwards for the first down. Rodney Harrison had to come over and let everyone know he was in the area. Rodney Harrison telling us we're going to hit them, pile on them, make them pay. And I think he's lived up to it.
Oh, boy, he is something.
And the first down for the Colts, and it's Stokely for a short gain with Troy Brown riding him down. 3rd all-time receiver in the history of the Patriots franchise, riding down the 3rd leading receiver for the Indianapolis Colts this season. Another one That's a negligible gain to Marvin Harrison.
The hitting, everything is contested. The Colts last week almost 200 yards after the catch. Today, well under 100.
3rd and 1. And that's good for a first down. What do you say to people now? Peyton Manning, he didn't want to talk about the record all season long. He got the record, still lamenting that for him, it didn't mean anything if this didn't lead to a Super Bowl. Everybody's saying, you know, he can't win at New England. He's never won here. What happened?
Well, what happened is they just got manhandled, Jim, and it's not Peyton Manning's fault today. I have not seen receivers open down the field. Another good example.
Right there. He has been, let's face it, there's so many people that love the way he has been a spokesman for this league, Peyton Manning. New England and Pittsburgh on the way next week. AFC Championship game, 6:30 Eastern time from Heinz Field. Greg and the guys will be seeing them on the road. Dan and Shannon and Boomer, we look forward to their company and their pregame show. 6 o'clock Eastern time next Sunday here on CBS. The whole crew on hand for the big one, the big rematch. They again met on Halloween, and the Patriot win streak came to a close there, but they're not going to masquerade as any mediocre team this time when they go into Pittsburgh. This is no Halloween dress-up occasion. This will be for the right to go to the Super Bowl. Here we are looking back at the turnovers and that blitz they ran into in the very first quarter. It was 21-3, a couple of long strikes to Burris. Brady got picked, got run back by Deshae Townsend for a touchdown. And again, they really had to abort the running game without Dillon. And 34-20 was the final Pittsburgh.
Well, I think it's pretty safe to say it's going to be a different New England team that goes to Pittsburgh next week.
Isn't it something, though, how Pittsburgh ended their win streak, including playoffs, at 21 games in a row. And now they themselves, Pittsburgh, they're on a win streak of 15 straight going into next Sunday. And that falls incomplete, intended for Clark. I was about to say, for Peyton Manning, he's had a year where he's been really such a spokesman for the league. So many people thinking this might be his year. And now you see the Steelers in their experience this season of 15 straight wins. Haven't lost at home since November '03. Their defense is first in the league. First in the league, fewest points allowed. And by the way, they'll meet the team that's number 2 in that category, the Patriots. It's Dallas Clark. He's fighting hard with 20 seconds left.
Well, Jim, good point. The 2 best scoring defenses will be there next week. The Colts, they tried to do it differently this year. It was all about their offense, but in this big game, they couldn't get it done.
There's the interception. Rodney Harrison. Rodney Harrison with the pick intended for Marvin Harrison. And what a fitting close to this one.
And look at the celebration on the New England Patriots sideline. That tells you what this game, well, of course, it meant a lot to them, but they got tired about hearing about it all week, about how they won't be able to defend their Super Bowl crown against an offense that can't be stopped.
It's going to be New England and Pittsburgh next Sunday in the Steel City. First pick of the day, Peyton Manning, Brewski with 2 fumble recoveries. By the way, although the schedule is not set, these 2 teams meet again next year right here in Foxborough. Tony Dungy again told his team when they lost the opener, guys, what this means is we'll have to come back here. And they had to come back with the weather elements again. And a total domination by Belichick and crew. That's why they're the champs. Subway post-game show is coming up.
Yeah, just what an impressive performance by the Patriots. They build themselves as a tough, physical football team. They came out to prove it. They did it here today against the Indianapolis Colts.
Tom Brady, not talked about all this week, by the way. Throws for one, runs for another. He's still never lost a playoff game. He's going to take on Roethlisberger in Pittsburgh next week. Patriots, Pittsburgh. We'll see you then. For Phil, Bonnie, Jim Nance, so long from Foxborough.
This is a Big Mac. It has 30 grams of fat. Now I know what you're thinking. Yeah, but it's big, right?
Numbers are...
The Subway Post-Game Show is sponsored by Subway. It's what to eat when you want to eat fresh. Subway, eat fresh.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Subway Post-Game Show. I'm Greg Gumbel, along with Dan Marino, Shannon Sharp, and Boomer Esiason. Let's first fill you in on what's coming your way tonight here on CBS. 60 Minutes in the toughest part of Iraq when a group of Marines came under fire. 60 Minutes was with them. A rare look at the front line tonight. That's followed by an all-new cold case and CSI New York. On a special night, it's all here on CBS, America's most watched network. Next Sunday evening, we're taking the NFL Today on the road. We'll be on site in Pittsburgh at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, leading up to the AFC Championship game between the Patriots and the Steelers. Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, 20-3 winners to advance to that game. Brady now a perfect 7-0 in postseason play. Our Bonnie Bernstein caught up with him.
Tom Brady, in a game where everybody was talking about the Colts offense, what was it about yours that made this day successful?
Well, I think our defense is what made this game successful. The way they played today, 3 points to one of the best offenses in the history of football is incredible. We had a couple big touchdown drives during the second half, but what a win, man. What a win.
When the Steelers stopped your winning streak during the year, I knew how bad you wanted to get another shot at them. How much of a difference will having Corey Dillon in this game next week make?
Well, I showed you what Corey's capable of doing, but it's going to be our toughest game all year. We know what that team's all about, and pretty similar to ours. They're very tough, very hard-nosed, very physical, and going to that stadium's tough, too, so we got our work cut out.
All right, Tom, congratulations.
Thanks. Bye, Mom.
Congratulations indeed. As I said, Tom Brady a perfect 7-0 in postseason play. Peyton Manning now 0 for 7 at Foxborough. A tale of two quarterbacks today.
Well, yeah, Peyton Manning had the great year that he had, and, coming into the playoffs, you have to make big plays in playoff situation, and you look at the defense of New England Patriots. We talked about it earlier. They have to keep everything underneath. They didn't, the Patriots corners were out, the two starting corners. They didn't really challenge them outside. So when you look at Tom Brady said that the defense played great, and they did, but the offense of New England Patriots controlled that whole football game up and down the field.
Well, you look at all the teams that won today, had over 100 yards running the football, and the Colts, I keep telling you, you got to play defense, and you did not play defense. You got no turnovers today, and you led the league in turnovers during the regular season, and you get none today. You did not do a good job, and that's why you're going home. You need defensive help.
Yeah, you picked the Colts, too. I can't believe that. But you know what? Tom Brady is so cool. I can't say enough about him. All he does is win. He doesn't have the gaudy stats that Peyton has. He's tough at home. They're tough at home. How about Teddy Bruschi? Here's a guy who seems like he's in on every play. I thought Phil and Jim did a great job really chronicling how those linebackers control the football game from a defensive standpoint. But when you control the football the way that the Patriots did today, I can't lay this at the feet of Peyton Manning. This is not Peyton Manning's loss. It takes a whole team, and I think maybe Peyton Manning is this generation's Dan Marino. He's a great football player, but he's not going to get to the Super Bowl. I'm telling you, not with that defense.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to a Super Bowl.
I know you better, but I got to a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? There's too much pressure on Peyton Manning to be perfect every week.
It is.
It's just like you had to be. That's just not, it's just not fair to him, and I'm not going to lay it at his feet.
That New England offense put together scoring drives today of 88, 48, 87, and 75 yards, and the running of Corey Dillon was a huge part of that. Just a short while ago, Bonnie Bernstein had a chance to talk with him.
Come back.
Corey Dillon, put into words what it's like to play in a postseason game after 8 years in the league.
It's unbelievable, but I just stayed focused during the week and just treated this like an ordinary game and just came in there and helped my team win.
How important was it for the running game today, not only to be successful in its own right, to just sustain the drives to keep Indy off the field?
Well, we know we want to, be successful in the running game, to keep Peyton them guys off the field, try to control the clock a little bit, and we were pretty successful today.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
pretty successful today. Corey Dillon, 23 carries, 144 yards. In conditions like that at Foxborough, it makes all the difference in the world to a quarterback like Tom Brady to be able to hand the ball off to a Corey Dillon and keep control of the football.
Well, there's no doubt, and that's what you'd like to have in a playoff team, a guy that you can turn around, hand the ball off to, and get the yards that Corey Dillon got today. And we knew going into this game that he was going to be a big part of this offense, and that's why they got him in the offseason, so they can, in the playoffs, they can have a running game and a guy they can rely on like Corey Dillon, and he came up big today.
But it's their defense, man. It's all about their defense. I mean, it's a team game. The NFL spends so much time just, spending looking at one guy. It's not one guy. It's collectively all of them together, and nobody's better than the Patriots.
All right, guys, we'll take a time out here, and we will have more for you as we wind down the Subway postgame show. Don't go away.
You've got friends, you've got beer. The trick is, A, never confusing the two, B, having plenty of both, C, always having something to drink to. Life beckons, and you're holding the key.
At playoff time, when every down counts, you deserve the best picture and surround sound the game has to offer. CBS Sports and Sony were proud to bring you today's game in high definition. Your ticket to a football experience like no other. We hope you enjoyed today's game in HD TV.
You've got friends, you've got beer. The trick is, A, never confusing the two, B, having plenty of both, C, always having something to drink to. Life beckons, and you're holding the key.
Someone should really call that number.
I'm not paying daytime charges.
You call. But it's peak hours. I'm roaming.
Is your wireless company charging you a fortune? Come to T-Mobile and talk whenever nationwide.
Whenever.
For a limited time only, get 1,000 whenever minutes and free nights and weekends. Just $45.99.
T-Mobile. Get more.
Not in our house, buddy. Not today.
Oh, no. This ain't going down. Not today, 99.
Not today.
Not today.
Not tomorrow.
Nobody coming in here.
Visa, official card of the NFL and the house of the Super Bowl champion New England Patriots, where they accept no card to get you in. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
CBS tomorrow on a new CSI Miami. His dream was to ride along with the Miami PD. He picked the wrong day.
Where is the ride along? Maybe he took off, or maybe he got taken for a ride.
Freeze!
We had a real-life Bonnie and Clyde on our hands.
He was very good at making enemies.
The question becomes, which one of them got to him first?
CSI Miami, a new episode of CBS tomorrow.
The Subway postgame show is sponsored by Subway. It's what to eat when you want to eat fresh. Subway, eat fresh.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Subway postgame show. Greg Gumbel along with Dan Marino, Shannon Sharp, and Boomer Esiason. Coming up tonight on CBS, it all begins with 60 Minutes, followed by an all-new cold case, and then it's CSI New York on a special night. It's all ahead here on CBS. And again, we remind you, next Sunday evening at 6 Eastern Time, the NFL Today comes to you live from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. We will set the stage for the AFC Championship game between the New England Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, these teams have met earlier in the season. In fact, week number 8. It was at Pittsburgh in the first quarter, 3:54 to play. Ben Roethlisberger to Plexico burst, 47 yards. Pittsburgh went up 7-3. 22 seconds left in the first. Tom Brady intercepted by Deshae Townsend. He ran it back 39 yards, and the Steelers led 21-3. And with 13:06 in the third, Jerome Bettis gets the 2-yard run for the touchdown to go up 31-10. Steelers beat the Patriots 34-20 to snap their 21-game winning streak. And now they are headed for a rematch in Pittsburgh when this time Corey Dillon's going to play.
Well, you know what? I think the great equalizer in this game is the fans. I mean, Heinz Field is just a great place to watch a football game. There's a lot of emotion in there. You saw the Jets yesterday having trouble offensively there, and Tom Brady said it. He goes, look, we know this is going to be a difficult game, and the reason it's going to be so difficult is because it's going to be in Heinz Field.
And everybody's going to be looking for whether or not Ben Roethlisberger has gotten that rookie game completely out of his system.
Well, you like to think if Bill Belichick can confuse Peyton Manning and make him look so awful, you know he has something up his sleeve for Ben Roethlisberger. But you know who the guy is? The guy that's going to be the key in this ball game is going to be the showstopper, Corey Dillon, because he did not play last time, and he can run the football. It's going to be a very interesting ball game.
Well, first of all, Peyton Manning didn't look awful because he didn't really have it. He didn't.
He looked like the MVP.
He never
did he look like the MVP?
I'm not defending him, but he didn't have the ball. He hardly had a chance in this game.
When he had it, did he do anything with it? It wasn't like they led the league in time of possession. They were 25th, 26th in time of possession anyway. But when they did get it, he did nothing with it.
Okay.
All right, guys.
All right.
Meanwhile, Tony Dungy on the short end of a 20-3 score tonight, and Bonnie Bernstein talked with the Indy coach a short while ago.
Let's see what Tony has.
Tony, you came into this game very confident that you had a good game plan for this team. What went awry?
Well, they just outplayed us. I thought they were a little more physical than we were in the second half. Corey Dillon obviously made a big difference. They ran the ball and really just wore us down in the second half, and they outplayed us.
Colts are a team that had very few turnovers during the regular season. How much of a factor was that today?
Well, you can't turn the ball over. You can't make mistakes against these guys. They've got a good team, and they've played us a lot of different ways. They've won high-scoring games. This was a low-scoring game for the most part in the first half. They outplayed us in the second half when it counted.
I know obviously it's difficult to look in the future right now, but in terms of having the nucleus of this team together next year, how confident are you that we'll see that?
Oh, we'll be fine. We'll get better. We've got to get a little bit more physical on defense. But offensively, I think we'll continue to build on this, and we'll have our guys here, and we'll learn from this and get better.
Coach, thanks so much for the time.
All right. Thank you, Bonnie.
Do you think that maybe the New England Patriots began to smile as it began to snow in Gillette Stadium earlier today?
A lot of things went their way. There's no question about it.
All right. Meanwhile, earlier today in the NFC playoff game between the Vikings and the Eagles, first and goal from the Vikings 7, Donovan McNabb to Brian Westbrook, 7 yards and a touchdown, and a 14-0 Eagles lead. Now, first down from the Viking 14, McNabb to L.J. Smith. The connection, the fumble, Freddie Mitchell right into his arms in the end zone, 21-7. Fourth and goal from the Eagle 3. Here's just how the Vikings day went. On the fake, Gus Frerotte looked to his left. No one was there, and this ended up being a busted play. Too many men on the field. He looked in the direction of Randy Moss, who was walking off on the other side. The Vikings on the short end of a 27-14 score, and it'll be Philadelphia playing host to the Atlanta Falcons next weekend.
And you look at the Atlanta Falcons and the way they ran the football, against the St. Louis Rams, and that's going to be the big challenge for Atlanta Falcons. Can they continue to run the football the way they did going on the road, in Philadelphia? If they do that, they'll have a real good chance of winning. And Michael Vick, he could take over a game.
Let me ask you this. What's the difference between them going from outside as they were in last night's game, or inside in last night's game, to going outside in Philadelphia?
Well, I don't want to make too much of this, but normally these are the best two teams from top to bottom all year long. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta plays great defense. Philly plays great offense. But can Michael Vick do what he did last night? And if he does, it's going to be a very interesting ball game.
And can Donovan McNabb in this offense sustain against the pressure of the Atlanta Falcons defense? They get all over you. They got a very good defense. Eddie Donatello's done a great job down there. Rod Coleman, Patrick Kearney, Keith Brooking. There are a lot of good players in that defense. That will be the real test for Donovan
Michael
McNabb.
Vick, a couple years ago, he went into Lambeau Field, and that was outdoors, and he took over that game and won.
All right, guys, let me recap. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes. That's coming up next, followed by Cold Case and CSI New York. Remember, we'll be on the road next Sunday. It'll be from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. The NFL Today comes your way at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And then the AFC Championship game, the New England Patriots against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We can't wait. Wait, I know they can't. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Wait. Bye-bye. See you next Sunday.
win in overtime, so there's no lead that's safe against the Colts. They scored 21 points against us last year up in Indianapolis in 10 minutes, so they can put up a lot of points in a hurry.
Talk about Corey Dillon's first playoff game of his career.
Well, you know, Corey's had a good year for us. He's done well all year. Run the ball for tough yardage, for big plays, picked up the blitz, caught the ball well. He did all that today. He's been doing it all year.
What kind of difference might he make in Pittsburgh since he didn't play the first?
Well, we're going to have to play well as a team. I don't think any one guy's going to stop the Steelers or do anything to the Steelers. We're going to have to play a good team football game against them, and they're the best team in the league. They got the best record. They beat us. They deserve the #1 seed, and you know we'll have our work cut out for us. I thought our offensive line, did a good job, especially in the second half. We had a few problems in the first half. Again, that's a good pass rush in front. They run a lot of games and stunts. Freeney's tough off the edge. He's quick. We had our hands full, but Brandon and Matt and even the tight ends, Dan and Christian, were at times helping out on them. I thought they all did a good job. But he still made some plays. I mean, he's a good football player.
In the past, he's had problems with the speed rusher. Speed rusher for Matt Light.
I think Matt's played pretty well against him every time we played him. I think it's just fourth time we played him the last couple of years. He's done a pretty good job. I mean, Freeney's made a couple. I'm not saying he hadn't made any plays, but Light's blocked him too now.
Can you talk about the running attack as a whole and just being able to keep those guys going?
Well, it's especially on a day like today, where it's kind of tough to throw the ball outside the numbers. Most of the catches, most of the plays were inside type routes where you didn't have to throw quite as far, and the receivers could run. Had a little better footing. Running game's important. It softens the defense up. It gives you an opportunity to play action a little bit and able to control the ball. It was big. Kevin did a nice job. He really had good run vision a lot of times. This is the type of team, because they stunt and penetrate so much, that really, you want a back that has good vision, that can see those openings and not just, run into the hole because it isn't always there where it's supposed to be. A lot of times it ends up opening up somewhere else, and Kevin did a real good job of that, and showed a lot of quickness and cutback ability, made some nice runs.
The field conditions accomplished a lot. Most of the pregame talk was about the Colts and Manning and how you guys are starting. Do you think that had any impact on the game, the amount of attention that went to one side?
I think the biggest factor in the game was that our players played well. They stepped up. They played good football for the most part. We had a few problems in the first half, but that last 30 minutes that's our best football of the year, and I think that's why we were able to gain control of the game.
Did you have a feel for how this game would happen in the second half?
Well, we thought if we played well, we would win. We expected to play well, and we thought if we played well, we would be able to win.
At halftime?
We thought that going into the game. We thought it going into the game. We thought it at halftime. That's the way we felt about the game. I mean, I know nobody expected us to do that, but we felt that way.
Execution-wise, it's ultimately the bottom line, but do they not see what they expect to see?
No, I don't know. You'd have to go talk to them. I don't know. You'd have to go talk to them, Jim. I don't know what they saw.
It's such a dramatic difference to throttle them the way you did this compared to what they've done all season.
Well, yeah, you'd have to ask them about it. I don't know.
Bill, did you do anything to take away? I mean, for the safeties staying out most of the time, I wasn't watching them the whole time, but they didn't go down the field at all, really, on the outside. Was that because of the footing, as you mentioned, or did you do something to take that away?
Brian, you can't take everybody away. They got too many players. So we did what we did. We did what we did. We tried to mix it up on them a little bit. Why exactly they did what they did, I'm not sure. I mean, they threw a lot of screen passes. I don't know if that was because of the game plan, because of the weather. You'd have to go ask them that. I really don't know. We just tried to, like I said, hang on and not give up big plays, play the running game a lot better than we played it in the first game, and, be competitive against the receivers.
Phil, when you look at Brady's numbers, they're not going to be, anything wild or touchdown passes, a lot of yards. But was this a typical Brady game in management and getting that touchdown pass to Givens? Was this what we?
I thought that was really a big play in the game. Not having to settle for 3 down there, being able to, Tom made a nice play, stepped up, the coverage kind of slid over to the right where we had overloaded the formation, and David read it back across the green. Tom stepped up, found him, as both of them usually do, and got a little opening and made the play. And, that's what good quarterbacks do. They make plays when things don't go perfectly, which, a lot of times they don't. And Tom does a good job of that. Sorry.
Sense at halftime, did you think you let a couple teams slip away, or?
Well, we definitely let them slip away. We had a touchdown called back on a penalty. Missed the chance to turn the ball over there right there at the end of the half. But we felt like if we could play our best half of football and play, good football in all three phases of the game, that we'd still be able to win it. And I think that's what everybody felt. It was nothing, magical or no big revelation or anything. We expected that going into the game. We thought if we could play our best football, a good football game, that we'd be able to win. That's the way, really, that's pretty much the way this team always feels.
Coach, some guys came to do it last year after the AFC Championship games was giving you guys a great look, emulating Manning. Some type of look at Miller.
It was real good. We really, I thought one of the big things we asked the players this week was to simulate what the Colts do, because they're so different from us. The way that, Manning runs the offense, and Miller did a nice job of that. The way that Freeney rushes, and Bannacane did a nice job of that. The way that Harrison, runs his routes, and Casper did a nice job of that. I think Miller did a great job, don't get me wrong, but I think the entire, the team, the scout teams from both sides of the ball really did a nice job of trying to, as much as possible, make their stuff look like the Colts, so it helped get our guys ready. Some of the guys on the practice squad, and some of the guys who really didn't play that much, but they worked hard to give our players a good look, and that definitely helped prepare them for the game. It was, like I said, I couldn't say enough about it being a team effort. There were guys that didn't even play today that had a lot to do with us winning. Miller would be one of them.
With their win over the Colts, the Patriots have now won 20 straight home games, including the postseason. Now that's tied with the 1929 through 32 Packers for the third longest such streak in NFL history. New England hasn't lost a game at Foxborough since December 22nd of 2002 against the New York Jets. Glad to have you along for the very latest edition of ESPN News, along with NFL analyst Eric Allen. This is Stan Verrett. I'm Cindy Brunson. You picked the Colts to win this game.
How dare I?
How dare you? Why was your pick so wrong?
I tell you what, the coaching staff did an outstanding job today. I think Bill Belichick, Romeo Cornell, they just took what the Indianapolis Colts do well and use it against them, and really transform that defense into an attacking style defense, not very passive. And I think the way the Colts started the game out, they were very passive, scared of a turnover, wanted to kind of establish something, but really never really got anything established, and owe a lot of that credit to the defensive mentality of the Patriots.
All right, we're going to get plenty more of your thoughts coming up in just a minute. First, Tony Dungy, now 5-7 as a head coach in the playoffs, and once again this season, his season comes to an end in New England.
Well, it's obviously a disappointing way for us to end our season. We came up here with very high expectations, and just ran into a better team today. They outplayed us, and they've beaten us 4 times in a row now, all kind of different games. But that's one thing about them. They find a way to win. I thought they were a little more physical than we were today, especially in the second half. We're sitting there at 6-3, and they get a couple long drives to really put the game away. Third down, they did a better job than we did. Converted some third downs, kept some drives going, and you just have to give them a lot of credit. They played well. They were missing some guys, but it didn't seem to matter to them. Was the weather a factor? No, it really wasn't. It wasn't bad down there. Field was in pretty good shape. We just got outplayed today.
You guys weren't quite as aggressive on offense. Was that what they were doing? Was that the plan?
No, we tried to get some things going. We didn't get our run game going as well as we would have liked, and then we just didn't convert our third down, so we didn't have the ball as much as we would like. And then in the second half, they had those 2 long drives, really used up most of the time. We had a couple third down situations where we had some third and mediums, third and longs to get them stopped, and couldn't do it.
Tony, they just seem to be able to make teams look bad. Is that just disrupting timing?
They're a good team. Obviously, they've won, everything but 2 games in the last couple of years, and they play well, and they're physical, they're tough, they're smart, and they play well. And today I thought they outplayed us as much as in any of the other games since I've been here.
Can you talk a little bit about Dungy? About Dillon. He seemed more of a factor in this game.
He made some good runs, and he was bouncing off people and slashing, and he's obviously helped them. He and Kevin Falk both, that's where they hurt us. They didn't hurt us so much in the passing game other than a couple of critical third down throws, but, he ran well, and he's given them an added dimension for sure.
Tony, do you need a different type of team in some ways to take that next step?
I don't think so. I think we just have to get to the point where in certain situations we play a little sharper. And today, as I say, they outplayed us, but I don't think we need to overanalyze it and say, oh, we've got to do this and tear the team down and restructure it this way. I think we can win with the guys we have, and we just have to play better in the crucial situations.
Coach Dungy, how tough of a loss is this?
Peyton Manning now 0-7 all-time in the state of Massachusetts, addressing the media after this tough loss.
And just had a good opportunity and just didn't take advantage of it. But got to give New England a lot of credit. They definitely deserve to win today.
Peyton, in your eyes, how damaging was the 3 scoring drives? One over 9 minutes, one over 8, another one over 7.
Yeah, obviously their offense did an excellent job in the second half of maintaining the ball but scoring at the same time. And it's one thing if you have the ball for a long time and you don't score. They did a good job finishing those drives. We felt good, at halftime. Coming in, felt like we found a little momentum there at the end of the first half and down 6-3, and got the ball right back. And then we just couldn't convert some of those third downs, and but it's disappointing because you feel like, okay, maybe we can kind of get something going now, and then the second half, the way they had the ball, then that's when you go back and start talking about the missed chances in the first half, and that's what you don't want to do, because we had some misses in the first half, and had a kind of some rare drops, and when those happen, you want to say, all right, those are over with. Well, but once they had the ball for so long in the second half, in the fourth quarter, you start going, we really missed some chances there early on. That was disappointing.
And even now, can you conceive this offense being held to the field goal?
Like I said, New England did a great job, tackling and just kind of keeping things in front of them. And we, like I said, we had some pretty good drives there going in the second quarter. Had the fumble. Bruschi made a good play. That was disappointing. And then, had a good drive down at the end of the half. And time kind of, dictated a little bit some of the play calling. Felt like we probably could have punched that in with more time. Probably would have run the ball down there. But, they were dropping a lot of guys. But, got a good 3 points out of that. And then, like I said, second half, just weren't able to really stay on the field. Part of it was our defense. Not holding them, and part of it was us getting out there and had a couple 3-and-outs and gave the ball right back to them. So it kind of works both ways.
What did you think about when you came out and saw that it was snowing, and what kind of impact, if any, did it?
Nothing really. Like I said, it was didn't really have any expectations or predictions on the weather, and I didn't think it was really much of a factor.
Not a lot of shots downfield. Was it just not a lot of possession second half, or not?
Just didn't really have some plays called at the right time. It was it's something that we've had for the most part all season. We've had some right plays called at the right time, and just didn't really have that tonight. Had some. When we got some good one-on-one looks, we had some runs, and then we had some shots down the field. They kind of had a better coverage for it, and it just kind of worked out that way. So that was unfortunate.
Hey, do you think back to the first game at all, the opening game of the season, and say, well, if we'd won that, we'd be home?
Well, we talked about that at the time, after the first game, because that was a disappointing loss, and a game we felt like we really could have won, didn't. But I don't think many other teams playing the first game talked about that game was going to decide where these teams were going to play in the playoffs. But I certainly felt that way. Felt very confident we would see New England again, and after that loss, we felt like it was going to be back here. And but like I said, they just outplayed us, regardless of where you were playing. And but that was that's not something we talked about this week. We talked about it at the time when that game happened.
You feel like you're hard on yourself after last year's game. How do you feel like you performed today? Any better?
The simple fact is we got beat, and I always, feel like I need to do my part to help my team win, and usually I do. And but when you don't win, I take it, like I said, take it personally and feel responsible and accountable. And so disappointing I couldn't do my job better to help my team win, but give New England a lot of credit.
Are you satisfied that the offense was aggressive enough?
Like I said, I really give New England the credit for stopping us and keeping things in front of them. We had some chances. We just didn't really make enough plays.
Do you think your season will be judged by your personal accomplishments this year or losing this game?
Probably not up to me, Sal. Unfortunately, I've always believed that a player does kind of define himself, but I think I'm starting to change those thoughts because there's so many opinions and experts talking about me and my career that I just sort of stopped trying to. I can't really define it myself. I know it was it was an excellent run. It was a fun run. Obviously, though, when you finish with a loss in the playoffs, it's disappointing, and that's not the way you want to finish it. So I don't really get into talking about what we've done up to this point. The facts are, we're going home. New England's playing next week, and we would like to be, playing next week. We're not, and it is disappointing. And the only thing I can say is we keep giving ourselves chances. I think about some teams that maybe lost in the playoffs last year, and they kind of feel sorry for themselves, and they end up going 5-11 the next year, don't give themselves another chance. We've always seemed to be giving ourselves chances, and when we feel like eventually it will be our time. And obviously it wasn't this year. Hopefully we'll be back next year. We can give it a shot, and it'll be our time next year.
So how will you define it, David?
Just as a, I thought we had some great wins. We really did made some crucial plays at some crucial times, and really gave ourselves an excellent opportunity to get here. But when we got here, we just didn't play like we wanted to play, and so came up short. That's how it'll probably be defined. And as far as what happened this year, some of the things we've done, I think those are some of the things that maybe when I retire, a long time from now, you'll look back and think about it. But right now, it's hard to think about anything else besides losing this game.
Peyton, they talk a lot about doing different things, the Patriots, when they play you. Did they do anything different that you hadn't seen before today?
Like I said, I'm not really going to get into schemes. They have excellent personnel, and for the most part, no, to answer your question. But they play well, they tackled well, they defended well, and just that's really kind of what it came down to. They played better on defense than we did on offense.
Peyton, a false start. Tony said it was an obscure rule. Apparently, it took you by surprise.
Yeah, I don't know. It was something we put in. We worked on it all week, and I guess we didn't know the rule, I guess. Essentially. So, but it was we kind of worked to set it up. But he said I had to come to a complete stop, which we were not aware of that. So that was kind of disappointing.
Are you to the point yet where you wonder how many shots you'll get at it, or you still feel like you're the underdog?
Well, no, yeah. You certainly know when you have an opportunity and you want to take advantage of it. It makes it even more disappointing. And I'm finished my 7th year, and I've always played every year as if it was going to kind of be your last, and you really play with a sense of urgency because I've heard guys talk about, well, next year, and you just don't know what's going to happen next year if, you have injuries and free agency, and there's no question that the players on this team, not everybody's going to be back next year, whether it's 1 or 2 guys or a number of guys. And so it is disappointing when you don't take advantage of the opportunity. But, we will, keep fighting and try to give ourselves another opportunity next year. But it's disappointing because you know how much work you put into it. You really do. We put a lot of time and work. And last year was a disappointing finish, and we really kind of swallowed. We really sort of kind of gut check time and really bounced back and worked hard starting in March to try to, be better this year. And I felt like we were. It really felt like we were a better team this year, and it just didn't finish like the way we wanted it to.
Hey, when you run into a team like this and continually fall short, do you ask yourself, should we change? Should we do things a little different?
I think sometimes that's what a team would like you to do, where you sort of get out of your the things that you do well, and that's when they're kind of dictating to you. It's a boring answer. I wish I had something sort of creative to tell you, but it just comes down really to the execution on the field. And the times we've played them recently, they've just out-executed us. And so it's a combination of us not doing our jobs, but I really, give them the credit for outplaying us.
As the game went on, did it begin to weigh on your mind the history with them, that you guys hadn't had a lot of success?
Yeah, the only time I start thinking about that is when I walk in this room, thinking about some of the questions that a lot of this. Not a whole lot of variety in the questions this year than last year, unfortunately. I was hoping, you're hoping to have different questions and be talking about a win, but it's a lot of the same song as last year, unfortunately. And but when you're out there playing, hey, I just go out there and play, and there's a lot of pressure. I mean, it's when you see signs with your name on it, and you talk about all week, it's my name. I don't like to use myself in the third person, but it's my name versus, the Patriots. But I never played that way or felt that way. I knew it was Colts versus the Patriots, but I wanted to do my job, and just, didn't do it well enough.
Do you respect a team that was missing so many parts on defense and yet played so well?
I'd said that really leading up to this game quite a bit, Sal, is that, most other teams, when you have starters down and you're missing some Pro Bowlers, you really sort of lick your chops and you can really expose it with New England, though, because they've won without all these guys. I mean, they won without, their starting corners, and it's just a credit to them, for other players, and for their coaches, for the guys that are in there, for stepping up and playing well. So it's kind of one of the few teams that seems like it doesn't really matter who's in there, because the core guys that are there really elevate the rest of everybody else's play.
After getting so many looks at them over the last few years and seeing what they've done and going for their third Super Bowl in the fourth year, how impressive is this run in today's game?
I mean, like I said, I'm running out of, compliments to pay them. I give them a lot of credit. They're an excellent team. They play well when they need to play well, and it'll be two good teams playing next week in the championship game.
Time for two questions, guys. Is the change you need next year, Peyton, just getting home field?
Well, I think you could say that, but that doesn't. You still got to just play better, in that game when you get the opportunity. I think, Dave, that's really what it comes down to, and we certainly haven't done the job when we played here, but you still, wherever we play them, I know we got to come back here, I think, in the regular season next year. So you just got to play better than them on that particular day, no matter where you're playing. And that's a boring answer, but that's really all I got.
Well, since the start of the 2001 season, the Patriots have met a quarterback twice in the same season, 13 times, including the playoffs. While those QBs are 5-8 in the first meeting, they are 0-13 in the rematches. That graphic speaks to how well Bill Belichick schemes a defense. We heard so much about how decimated that secondary was for the New England Patriots. And lo and behold, even without Richard Seymour, here comes the linebacker core, the bread and butter, the Vrabels, the Brewskis. Were you surprised by that at all?
I wasn't really surprised at the output from those players, because those players are going to play. What I was surprised about, again, I go back to the corner play, because you're facing the two most dominant receivers in the playoffs. You're facing Harrison and Wayne. You look at Wayne's game in the first playoff game, just outstanding, physically better than the players, scheme-wise better than the opposing player. He comes into this game, you're facing a guy like Samuels, you're facing a guy like Gay, you think you're going to have the upper hand, but again, they faced off man-to-man, right in their face, and played better than those guys. And you go back and they basically condensed the Colts offense to throwing the ball in the middle of the football field, right where the linebackers were, right where the veterans are. So again, you're talking about a situation where the defense from the Patriots forced Indianapolis and playing right into their hands, playing to the strength of their defense right in the middle, and those guys were able to make plays.
Right, 27 completions for Peyton Manning, but just 238 yards, an average of about 8.8 yards per completion. So, again, as you said, they did a good job of just keeping those plays in front of them. And then offensively, 3 drives, 14 plays, 15 plays, 16 plays.
For the Patriots.
9 minutes, 7 seconds, 8 minutes, 16 seconds, 7 minutes, 24 seconds. I mean, you hear a lot of coaches talk about playing keep away from Peyton Manning, but that's exactly what they did.
Great job in doing that, and they used Dillon, of course, but again,
144 yards on 23 carries. He was tremendous.
Outstanding. When you can hand the ball to a guy like that and get those type of yards, get that type of production from the running back position, you're always going to bowl well. And again, I think not enough credit is paid to Tom Brady. Tom Brady's the kind of guy who's going to be able to set up the run with his play action. But here you can hand the ball off to Dillon, and look at the run after the first contact. Right. That's an extra 13, 14 yards after contact. So just such a dominant day from him. You know he's excited being in Cincinnati all this time, and now all of a sudden you're in with the world's champ facing Peyton Manning, and it's all about you playing keep away. They know going into this week they'd have to use him and use him well, and he came through flying colors today.
You mentioned Brady's numbers, 18 of 27, 144 yards. Not spectacular, right. But the one number that jumps out at you, 7-0 in the playoffs.
That's
now.
right. That's because he's going to take a couple side steps, knows where everyone is, doesn't get enough credit about understanding the complexion and the complexities of the defense and offense. He knows both. He's able to hit his guys, keep them in stride when he's throwing the football, and no one is as calm as him in the pocket under duress. He's able to step a little left, step a little right, step up in the pocket, act like he's going to scramble, and then all of a sudden release the ball. So those 18 completions were all very important completions, particularly in the first half when he continued to drive. So that's the one thing you look at. He continues drives with his feet, allowing his receivers, who are not all-stars, but guys who can come up and make some plays for him in the snow, in that environment, in the big games. He's an ace, and I tell you right now, he's the best thing going.
And his one touchdown pass to his favorite target during the regular season, David Givens, no real surprise there. Right. Brady also said he is really looking for payback in next week's AFC Championship game. Kickoff at 6:30 Eastern Time at Heinz Field against the Steelers, a team that just decimated the Patriots earlier this season, beat them by 14 points. Corey Dillon not in that game, out with a thigh. How much do you think he will impact the rematch?
Oh, boy, it's going to be a great football game. It's going to be a physical football game. Both teams play physical style. They have Dillon now, so I think that's going to be the difference. I think the young quarterback at Pittsburgh played like he was a rookie the other day, so it's more emphasis is going to be put on the running game. So whatever team comes out and plays football on the other team's line of scrimmage is going to be able to have the advantage here. You look at the offense and defense of both teams, very strong. Special teams, very strong. Now it's going to come down to coaching. And whenever it comes down to coaching, you give the edge to Belichick. So, again, I think it's going to be a great football game. But if it comes down to coaching, Belichick gets the edge here.
We saw the graphic about the rematches. The Patriots 13-0, the second time they face a team. What are the adjustments that you think New England needs to make from that first game to this game?
Well, it's all be about the running and controlling the clock and not allowing the bus or deuce to really get started. So you see a lot of what we saw today. The run, Dillon breaking off runs, but I'm telling you it's going to be a little more difficult. So more emphasis is going to be put on the short passing game with Brady. And then whenever you have those type of ingredients, you have Brady, you have Dillon, you have the head coach, you have to give the edge to the Patriots, because Brady has done it before, and you look over across the line of scrimmage, you have a young rookie quarterback who's struggling in his first game against a defense that's not as good as the Patriots. You know the Patriots are going to be ready to roll, ready for the run rookie, ready to stop the run, force him to throw the ball downfield. And if the corners and safeties play they played today, there could be a lot of turnovers and give the Patriots a short field in which to score from.
Right, because if you can confuse Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger better watch out.
Yeah, that's right.
Willie McGinnis is ready for that. We are ready to continue to talk football here on ESPN News. After the break, we will hear from Tony Dungy as he shares more thoughts about getting beat yet again. Eric Allen, Stan Barrett, Cindy Brunson. The news rolls on.
If someone had told me when I was part of the corporate world that my second career would be raising alpacas, I wouldn't have believed them. I'd never raised livestock in my life. All I'd raised was a dog. But I guess falling in love can change your life, and falling in love with alpacas certainly changed mine. And 7 years later, I can tell you that it's the most wonderful lifestyle experience.
Visit an alpaca farm today. To locate an alpaca farm near you, go to alpacainfo.com or call 1-800-213-9522.
Here's your chance to get up to $30 cash back when you upgrade to the Dish Network Value Pack with HBO and Cinemax. Call now to get 13 channels of HBO and Cinemax for the most talked about original series. and a non-stop array of big hit movies, plus up to 180 of America's favorite channels. Upgrade now and you'll get up to $30 cash back. The Dish Network Value Pack with HBO and Cinemax. Call now or get an additional $5 cash back just for ordering online. Visit dishnetwork.com today.
Patriots and a few snowflakes throttled the Colts' high-powered offense yet again. Indianapolis averaged 32.6 points per game during the regular season, scored 49 more against Denver in their wild card game a week ago, but could only manage 3 points in snowy Foxborough. For the second straight year, Coach Tony Dungy leaves New England with a loss. Earlier, he shared these thoughts with the media.
I don't think, we can look at it that way and say, oh, Peyton's got to do this and do that. I mean, we'll look at the tape and we'll see a lot of ways that we have to play better. And I know that's what's going to be said and written, but, you win as a team, and that's the only way you can beat these guys with a total team effort, and we came up a little short today.
Coach, you mentioned, Coach, that they were more physical. Is that the reason why they were able to execute as well as they did, because they were more physical, more aggressive?
I just thought that we had some chances in the second half, especially on defense, where we got to make some tackles, we got to get Dillon down, and we weren't able to do that. We let them control a lot of the clock, and it really was pretty simple football. It wasn't a lot of the first half was the 4 and 5 wide receiver sets and moving people around, but the second half was just basically 2 tight end running game that got them going, and we didn't handle that.
What was the explanation on the direction after injury?
I pride myself in knowing the rules. That's a rule that I didn't know. That the quarterback is what they say is once you go into the center, if you move away from the center, you have to be set for a second. I guess a fairly obscure rule, but it's in there somewhere, I guess.
Coach, with so much talk about their secondary, do you wish you had maybe gone after the secondary a little bit more?
Well, we tried to go after them. It's not like we said, oh, okay, we're not going to try to go get them. They did a good job, and as I say, outplayed us with the guys that played.
Turnovers again, Tony, 2-0.
It generally is. We had some chances to get some defensively. We had our hands on some balls, couldn't get them. We got some penalties that were not very good penalties to take at that time, and we let them convert a lot of third downs, keep drives going. They had those 2 long drives, and that was really the difference in the game.
What was the thinking of the 2 tight end sets so much, especially at the start of the second half?
Well, we wanted to see if we could get our running game going, and and then try to keep them in 3-4 and spread them out a little bit. And we had we didn't convert our third downs really as well as they did. We got in some 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 5s we couldn't pick up, and on their 2 drives they picked them up.
Was it a letdown to have to settle for the field goal right at the end of the first half?
Yeah, we would have liked to have gotten a touchdown there, but we actually felt good coming into the locker room. We're down 6-3. We'd moved the ball pretty well the last 2 times we had it, and it was going to be a matter of us stopping them a couple times and trying to get the lead, and we felt that we could do that in the second half. We stopped them once, I believe. We came out and moved it, made a couple first downs, and then we punted them backed up, and they got the long drive, and that was the tough point in the game.
Well, you guys have thrown deep a lot this year, been able to get deep a lot. It looked like I don't remember you getting a long pass.
Yeah, we really didn't get a deep ball today, and it's something we were looking for, but just didn't materialize. The only one that I know of. Everybody else was able to come back in.
So if I could expand on that, why do you think it didn't happen?
I'm not sure. We tried to get them deep. They played some zone coverages. They blitzed us a little bit and played man-to-man, but we weren't able to get them today.
Tony, when you pin them back at the 13 in the 3rd quarter, is that the time where you're sort of counting on?
Yeah, your defense has to make a stop there, get the ball back around midfield. We had a chance. I think we had a 3rd and 9. They threw a ball to Falk and made a first down. We'll get another first down. We give them on a penalty to Nick Harper, and then we had we had some 3rd downs that we didn't stop, and that was the big thing. But yeah, you are counting on your defense there.
The Harper penalty, it looked like it wasn't catchable.
Oh, it certainly wasn't catchable, but it was a penalty.
Coach, how frustrating was it to watch those 3 long drives
guys, knowing how important ball position obviously was?
It was difficult, and the fact that we had some chances to get them stopped, and they were able to just run the ball. You know, if the team runs for 200 yards on you, which they were over 200 today, you're going to have a tough time winning.
Is there anything you can change? I mean, you play with a very light front seven.
Oh, I don't think it was that. I think we've got to tackle well, and when we got a little frustrated, guys trying to spin and help out in other places and get out of their gaps, and it's just a matter of playing discipline and attacking and not missing those tackles. Now, obviously, they've got a couple of good backs that break tackles. That's what they do, and I think Dylan had a big effect today.
Were you guys starting to gamble a little bit?
A little bit. You get, you start to just try to do a little bit too much, and we had, as I say, we had some opportunities. We did put them in some 3rd and longs and couldn't come up with that one play to change the momentum.
Coach, you mentioned not overanalyzing because of this. Does that mean that you think the team just kind of needs some tweaking and not?
Well, you always are going to look at your weaknesses and try to get those improved. But I think people can read a little too much into, well, we've got to do this. And we can't just set our sights on New England. We can't just say, oh, we've got to do this to beat these guys. You have to win your division. You have to put yourself in position and play good, consistent football. We're starting to do that. And if we get better, hopefully we get in this situation again. We get a chance to play them next year and see if we can beat them.
Tony, do you ever fear that people are going to start to put more and more pressure on Peyton as his career kind of tracks Marino's?
Well, I guess being a historian, I can remember some other guys that, it was said Steve Young was in our building the other day, and the same thing was said about him for a long while, and now he's going to go in the Hall of Fame. And I can remember when Elway couldn't quite win a Super Bowl, and we're all hoping that he won one. Looking back on it now, he had a great career, and he didn't win his until way far down the road. So the pressure will build, and people will continue to talk about it. But I think Peyton will handle it well, and the thing we have to do is just continue to try to improve our team and see if we can get that Super Bowl win.
Well, they won't get it this season because the Patriots absolutely dominated the Indianapolis Colts. 20-3 is the final count. Big thing that jumps out at you, E, the time of possession. New England just grounded out, kept the ball, and basically played keep away all day long. For those of you just joining us here on ESPN News, let's show you how it went down. Peyton Manning trying to bring Tom Brady's Patriots 19-game win streak at home to an end. The snow wasn't supposed to fall, and yet it did. In the second quarter, 4th and goal for the Patriots from the 1. Corey Dillon looks like he's in, but there's a flag on the play. False start against Matt Light, so they have to settle for a field goal there. Could have been a big momentum swing. Didn't prove to be. 3rd and 22 for the Colts. Seemed like they were in 3rd and long all day long. EY.
Great defense. The formations, they were recognizing formations and playing to their strengths. And here, you go back on the other side. Look at this. Being able to get through, not touch, then outrun corners and safety. Tremendous job by Dillon today.
Corey Dillon, 8 carries, 68 yards in the first half. That led to another Adam Vinatieri field goal. New England up 6-0 there. 2nd and 17 for the Colts now. Dominic Rhodes, meet Teddy Bruschi.
Yeah, just
Patriots ball.
Yeah, Patriots defense just forcing everything in the middle, then allowing, like you said earlier, those great linebackers to make plays.
Just before the half, Manning finally finds one of his favorite targets, Brandon Stokely, and Asante Samuel is there.
That's how you lay the wood right there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. So right before the half, Mike Vanderjagt comes on for a 23-yard field goal. Kick is good, and it's a field goal battle in the first half. Advantage New England 6-3 at the break. In the third quarter, Patriots on the doorstep. Brady makes one heck of a play right here, E.
Right here, it's scrambling to his left and lets the ball go, winning the possession battle, and then finish off a long drive with 7 points. Very important right there.
David Givens on the receiving end. In the fourth quarter, it's Corey Dillon time.
Again, first touch there, 6 yards away from scrimmage, and now breaks it for an extra 30 or 40 yards. Just another exciting play from Dillon.
23 carries, 144 yards, led to a Tom Brady sneak, so they're up 20-3. And then Manning to Reggie Wayne, and guess who's there? Bruschi to recover a fumble. Like you said, all day long, the Patriots defense forced the Indianapolis Colts to the middle of the field, to the strength of that defense with Vrabel, Bruschi, and Willie McGinnis. So the Patriots advance. 20-3 is the final in this one. Manning now 0-7 all-time in the state of Massachusetts. 27 of 42, 238, 1 interception. Brady, pedestrian, really, 18 of 27, a buck 44, 1 touchdown through the air, another one rushing. And he is now unbeaten in 7 playoff games.
Earlier today, NFC, Randy Moss wigging out again. Vikings trying to pull another upset on the road, taking on the Eagles. Eagles on the Vikings, 31 in the first quarter. Donovan McNabb to Brian Westbrook. 5 catches, 47 yards for Westbrook. And an Eagles first down on that play. Now it's 3rd and goal from the Vikings to McNabb to Freddie Mitchell. 5 catches, 65 yards for Mitchell. Touchdown, Eagles. And it's 7-0 Philly. Late first down. More from the Eagles from their 27. McNabb looking deep and finds Greg Lewis. 21 of 33, 286 for McNabb. 53 yards on that play. We go to the second quarter. 1st and goal for the Eagles. On the Vikings 7. This is the same drive as the Lewis completion. And McNabb going back to Westbrook. Westbrook, his first postseason touchdown, 14-0 Philly. Later, the Vikings make a comeback from their 44. Dante Culpepper going up top. It's not Moss, but Marcus Robinson who makes a nice catch. 40-yard catch for Robinson. That was for more yards than the Vikings had previous to that play in the game. 3rd down for the Vikings. Now Culpepper scrambles and makes the corner for the touchdown. He carried it 5 times for 25 yards. Vikings down 14-7. Strange play here. McNabb to L.J. Smith. He gets popped, but it pops right to Freddie Mitchell. 4 catches, 52 yards for Smith, and Mitchell with his 2nd touchdown of the game, and it's just right place, right time.
That's a great dime right there.
More interesting plays here. Vikings attempting a fake field goal. Gus Frerotte has to just throw it away. And it's hard to figure what was going on here. Watch Randy Moss. Moss was out wide. He seems confused about the play. Vikings were trying to get a timeout, and Moss just ran out of bounds. Tough to figure out what was going on there. 3rd quarter, Vikings on the Eagles 28. Culpepper. Tipped and picked by Ike Reese. Great play from Reese. 11 picks all season for Culpepper. He had 2 in this game. Eagles with the rock. Ensuing drive from the Vikings 31. McNabb, play action. Up top for Mitchell. But he fumbles it right at the goal line. Take another look at Eric. This the right call?
Yeah, I think it's the right call. Didn't cross the plane with the ball. Almost. Great effort, though. The coach said he will not talk to him after the game. He loves the effort.
Vikings ball, nonetheless. Ensuing drive, 3rd and 10 for the Vikes. Culpepper brought down by Brian Dawkins. The Eagles had 3 sacks. Vikings out of field goal range. Now 4th and 22 for the Vikings from the Eagles 31. And not even in the 4th quarter yet, but Minnesota trying to get something going offensively up top for Moss, but he had plenty of company all day. 3 catches, 51 yards, but not really a factor, and the Eagles take it 27-14. So once again, Philadelphia moving on to the NFC title game, 4th consecutive year. Of course, the last 3 times they've lost in the NFC title game. Culpepper 316 yards through the air, but not enough. McNabb 21 of 33, 286, but he spread the ball around, Eric. That was the key. He had 5 different receivers who all had at least 46 yards, none of them over 65 yards. So with no TO, they work it around and everybody pitches in and they get the win.
Yeah, I thought everyone was expecting to see what Westbrook was going to do. We found out what Westbrook was going to do. We know McNabb's an outstanding football player, but we're wondering about who's the 3 going to be. Who was that guy going to be? And he stepped to be Freddie Mitchell.
All right, so again, 4th straight NFC title game for the Eagles. You can see 0-3. 2001 to 2004. We'll see if they can get it done this time as they take on the Falcons. Now, these 2 teams met last year, but Michael Vick didn't play in that game. So forget that game. Let's take you back to 2002, the NFC Divisional playoffs. Vick did play in that game, but the Eagles were all over him. Yeah. Swarmed by the defensive line. Corey Simon with a sack, and then Vick spun down under constant pressure in this game. Then Bobby Taylor jumps a route for the interception. He takes it back for a touchdown. And then McNabb going to James Thrash, 35-yard touchdown on 4th and 1. The Eagles advance to the 2nd of those 3 straight NFC Championship games prior to this season, but a lot of those players, of course, not involved in that game. You look at the quarterback comparison, both of these guys, of course, still around. Vic, 22 of 38, 274, but no touchdowns and 2 picks. McNabb, mistake-free as far as interceptions go, 20 of 30 for 247 yards, and it's all about getting your team into the end zone, as Peyton Manning found out today. So this time around, though,